With John Harden, weekdays from 11 to 1. It's time to get up and get your day started.
Get up! Get up!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning!
Morning. Good morning.
Morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
Greetings and salutations as we kick off the new work week on this rainy, stormy start to the week. A little bit of weather out there right now if you're driving around the highways and the byways of Memphis and the Mid-South. But we're all toasty inside the Family Leisure Studios as we get set for 3 hours of scintillating sports talk. Welcome in. It's the Monday, June 22nd, 2026 edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Jay Ham with you, broadcasting live and local from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. It's officially summertime, and they're getting you set for what should be a fabulous summer. We celebrate the country's 250th birthday coming up on July 4th, and all the barbecues, the cookouts, everything that you do during the summer, you can get it started at Family Leisure. Right now, as I mentioned, we got some lightning detected in the area. It's raining outside. It's 70 degrees. Today's high 78 with, again, chances throughout the day of rain and possibly thunderstorms. That will continue into the evening. Tomorrow looks to be really nice, and then there's chances of rain and thunderstorms Wednesday and Thursday before it clears out for Friday. But tomorrow looks like maybe the best day of the week, at least the early part of the week. So be careful while you're driving around today. Hour one of the program is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Perhaps you folks paid a visit to Old Dominick over the weekend, took the tour of the distillery, which is right there downtown at 305 South Front Street. They produce Tennessee whiskey, bourbon whiskey, Honeybell citrus vodka, Formula 10 gin, all types of delicious spirits at Old Dominick Distillery. 150 years in the making, starting with the Canale family's arrival to Memphis. The revival really began in 2017, and they've been going strong since. That's when the doors open to the public. You can swing by for a pregame cocktail, an award-winning craft spirit, maybe a nightcap after an evening out downtown watching a sporting event, some form of entertainment, maybe a concert or whatever's going on over at the Orpheum, or maybe you're just downtown for a delicious dinner. Cap it off with a great craft spirit from Old Dominick Distillery. Find out more on the web at olddominick.com. Old Dominick Distillery, come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. And cheers to a pretty nice weekend in the world of sports. Lots going on, and it will be a busy, busy week as we have the NBA draft, which begins tomorrow with round one and will conclude on Wednesday with round number two. Obviously, the speculation continues to run rampant. There was one move that was made as far as a deal is concerned. We'll talk about that and some other moves as far as teams re-upping with some of their players in the signings that took place over the weekend. So we'll go over all that with the NBA draft, but it's going to get hot and heavy tomorrow and Wednesday. The U.S. Open Golf over the weekend. Shinnecock Hills. Did we have any drama? Not really, but it got a little dicey there for Wyndham Clark at the end, despite the dismay of the fans that were assembled on Long Island to watch the U.S. Open. They did not like Wyndham Clark winning this thing, but he gets it done for his second U.S. Open victory. World Cup soccer, plenty of action. Today is a star-studded affair with some of the bigger names in soccer that will be in action. The U.S. won again. They beat Australia 2-0 on Friday. We will discuss that on the program. The College Baseball World Series will be decided today in a win or go home. Well, you're going home either way. Everybody's leaving after today in Omaha. But the winner is the national champs, and it's North Carolina and Oklahoma, with Oklahoma winning game one, North Carolina evening up the score in game number two. We got other baseball news to get into, and the Redbirds. How about the Redbirds? They get it done yesterday. They win the first half of the International League, and they will be in the playoffs late in September, hosting the three-game International Championship Series finals as they won yesterday, as I mentioned, over Nashville. We'll take your calls and texts on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. And speaking of the NBA draft, Parker Fleming does a great job in preparing us for that draft by breaking down and analyzing all the draft hopefuls. He'll be joining us in about 20 minutes at 7:25. I hope you had a nice weekend.
I did. Very nice weekend. Fantastic weather there on Friday and Saturday, and got out and enjoyed it. So, yeah, it was a fantastic weekend.
All right. J-Ham, your weekend, good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I just kind of reflected back. You know, I'm a daddy's boy, so Father's Day weekend is pretty tough when my dad's not around.
Yeah,
anymore, so.
yeah. That's with all of us. So I know what you're going through. It's been so long. You know, you never forget. But my gosh, with mine, my father's now been gone for 51 years. It's just hard to believe. But I went out. Part of my family's away, and those that were here, we went out and did some things yesterday, which was a lot of fun. I did notice this, though. My gosh. So gas right here on the corner. And it should go down, I would hope now. I think if they can complete this deal with Iran, hopefully they have lower prices here sooner than later. But the gas on the corner is $3.99. We were down in South Haven yesterday. The gas is $3.17 at the Kroger there, right off Goodman and Getwell. $3.17.
Yeah, and the Sam's right by it is probably about the same thing.
Now, I don't usually go out of my way for 10 cents, 15 cents, but for 65, 70 cents a gallon,
yeah.
I may have to make the trek down to South Haven again today. We weren't in my car, so I didn't get the gas, but my son-in-law's car, he drove, he got the gas. It just makes sense. I can't believe how much of a difference that is. What is it out there where you live?
Well, first of all, this gas station at the corner is always way more expensive than any other. So if you're comparing it, there's way cheaper gas in Memphis than that.
Yeah, but I drove by the Kroger on Poplar and what's it called? Truce Parkway.
Yeah.
It was $3.89 this morning.
Yeah.
Big difference between $3.89 and $3.17.
That was usually higher anyway, just because I don't know why that one.
I don't know why all the Krogers are different, but they are. But what you were making a point about where you live?
I have no idea. I haven't bought gas in the last week or so, I'm not sure.
I thought you were about to go. I got an electric car now.
But it is. I mean, it's always cheaper in Mississippi to begin with. The gas is always cheaper down there, but
80-some cents cheaper.
But again, comparing to this corner.
Oh, you're
thing,
right. You're right.
You go right down the street here. It's usually 20 to 30 cents cheaper than this place, just right down, not even a half mile down the street.
Isn't it like crazy when you get to an intersection, wherever it may be, and there's a couple of gas stations, and the one like is like, I'm talking about, you're talking about this corner compared to I'm talking about right across from each other. There's about like a 25-cent difference in a gallon of gas. What?
I have a 370 and a 345 like that right near me. And you 25-cent difference.
And you always see some dimwit that's at the 370. What are you doing there?
370, and he's getting 93 grade. You know?
Unless he's got a gas card. If they still exist, gas cards. Maybe there's a gas card for that particular gas station. But I hope everybody had a great weekend. Wyndham Clark had a great weekend. I don't think the fans at Shinnecock Hills had a great weekend because they were very loud in booing him, in rooting against him. One thing is to root against a person. Another thing is to be as loud and obnoxious as they were. Now, it's New York fans. I understand that. I get it. And I know Wyndham Clark has done some things that he becomes public enemy number one. But I started to get uncomfortable. I really did. And in the very end, once I realized that none of my bets were going to win, I thought I had the market cornered for this U.S. Open. And Wyndham Clark just would not relent. But once I knew I had no chance, I felt myself kind of rooting for him. It was very odd. We get the whole USA chant versus. I understand that. He's an American.
Yeah, it's not very often that you will see an American at the U.S. Open being that actively cheered against. There's obviously there's a lot of stuff into it, like what he did last year at Oakmont. People that he's had other things that he's done where his temper has gotten the best of him, but the Oakmont thing was the glaring thing, and he did not handle that whole situation very well. Obviously, the fact that he was paired with Scotty yesterday, who was looking for the career grand slam, everything else that was on the line there, that the people there were rooting for Scotty, but yeah, it was just the idea of, even, and Scotty talked about it afterwards too, like the actively cheering bad shots, like when his ball's rolling off the green and people are cheering for that. You just don't see that a whole lot in the world of golf. I mean, it's one thing to get really loud for Scheffler doing something good or whatever, but to actively cheer when bad things happen to a player, that just is, that makes it weird. You're just like, wow, this is really crazy. I mean, the putt he made on 16, that should be one of the loudest like roars you'll hear at a major championship. And it was more like, damn.
Crap. Crap, yeah.
I can't believe he made that.
He's going to win.
That sucks. It was definitely awkward. They kicked at least one person. I don't know how many got kicked out for some of the openly, the comments were made to him. It was just, again, it is New York, so it's a different market, but man, oh man, that was a very weird thing with the fact that it was an American player winning the U.S. Open.
I've said it before on this show. I said it last week. I don't like the guy, but if I was a fan out there, if I was a spectator, I would not be openly rooting against him. I would be, like you said, I'd be rooting hard for the other guys that I picked. But Wyndham Clark, I got to give this guy a whole hell of a lot of credit. First of all, he hit that amazing putt on 16. Bogey 17. Now the pressure's completely on him on 18. And he makes a great approach shot. He makes a great putt. He wins his second U.S. Open. His dad took the red eye to be with him. He didn't even know he was there. It was very emotional there in the end. He said all the right things. He said, I'm going to continue to try to win you guys over. He once again apologized. I don't know how many times more he can apologize. He paid the price. He was fined and all that happened with the outburst at Oakmont. He paid the price. I don't know how many more times he has to apologize for it. The guy has a sports psychologist that works with him all the time. And so he's doing everything he can to control the temper. We've seen other outbursts, obviously, from other players. And then people now are starting to say, well, you're anti-Wyndham Clark, but you're pro-Tiger Woods, and Tiger Woods nearly killed people with his driving impaired and all that stuff. People are trying. I think that's unfair. Tiger has his own issues that he's dealing with. This is a separate case. But yeah, you don't have to like Wyndham Clark, but my gosh, that guy was able to come through. Let's give him credit where credit is due. Scotty Scheffler is the number one player in the world. He had a lot of opportunities. He couldn't make any putts. And all the rest of the guys that were hanging in there, they were just okay. Nobody made the big run to be able to catch Wyndham Clark. Yeah, he ends up winning by one. But Sam Burns, who was really good, made some putts, had a chance, missed it by an inch. And he had his opportunities. Tom Kim played great, had his opportunities. All the rest of those guys, they fell by the wayside. So let's give the guy a lot of credit for what he overcame to be able to march through with all that against him. Man, that had to be tough on the, not physically, but mentally. That had to be tough. That's a strong guy mentally to be able to do that. So hopefully he's changed, and he said, I'm changing. I'm a lot different than I was last year. I continue to apologize. I'm going to try to win you over. So good for him.
Well, he in a lot of ways won the tournament Thursday and Friday, Saturday and yesterday also. I mean, some of the par saving putts that he made, and he made the putter change. He's talked about the putter change, and he has been fantastic. And people should have been paying probably a lot more attention to him coming into this as a former winner who was playing great golf, and has been red hot on tour coming into it. And yesterday luckily for him, the lead was big enough that even though he was leaking oil the entire day pretty much, he was able to hold on. Again, the putt on 16, just the whole, 16 as a whole after hitting the terrible tee shot, the second shot out of the fescue, trusting everything about it, telling his caddy, like, I got this, I could cover it. And then to make birdie on that hole when it looked like you went off that tee shot, who knows what you're going to make. And then after 3-putting 17 to hit that first putt on 18 that he did. He did a lot of great things again. And despite leaking oil, he had built a big enough lead that it didn't matter. And I'm sure, as Sam Burns said, that he will see that putt over and over again in his head. I mean, that was such a good putt that I still don't know how it didn't go in. But it didn't. And that's all that matters for him, who's come very close now, 2 straight years at the U.S. Open, only to come up a little bit short. I'm sure for him, that's absolutely killing him.
There are only 6 golfers now on the list who have won more U.S. Opens than he has. He is tied with a bunch of guys at 2 now, but Tiger Woods, Hale Irwin with 3, Jack Nicklaus, Ben Hogan, Bobby Jones, and Willie Anderson with 4. The chances of him winning a third, I think, is a strong possibility because obviously he has, even though he has outbursts, I understand that, but he's still, you have to be mentally tough to do what he did with everybody rooting against him. Now, there are guys that have won 2 and really didn't do much else in their careers. I'm not saying they did nothing, but Andy North comes to mind. He's a great analyst. He's a great broadcaster. He has 2 U.S. Open wins. Lee Janzen has 2 U.S. Open wins. There's several of these guys that only have the U.S. Open wins. Dr. Harry Middlecoff from Memphis, who's done more than, of course, just winning the U.S. Open. He's got 2. But there's, like I said, only 6 ahead of him at 3, or those with 4. Others with 2, Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, the late, great Payne Stewart, who won on, of course, Father's Day is when it wraps up, and that was just an emotional, I don't know how many years it's been now since Payne won. That was an incredible moment. This wasn't. It just, I've heard criticism of the broadcast team. I've heard the criticism of the crowd because of the late starts with the leaders, that people have to jump on the train to get back home to where they were because the trains don't run all night from where they are way out there on Long Island, almost near the end, almost in, was it Montauk? I mean, they're close to it. So they weren't around. There weren't a lot of people, and the crowds were not good. And so there was criticism of that. And then with, again, a unpopular, let's just say, winner. So it wasn't the best of U.S. Opens, but certainly was for Wyndham Clark. So congratulations to him.
I was happy because going into yesterday, I thought, boy, this is really going to suck if he just cruises to a 6-shot victory, something like that. I was glad that it became close and we got drama down the stretch. I didn't care who won. I just wanted it to be close and give me a reason to watch the back 9. And it ended up, thanks to Sam Burns and thanks to Wyndham Clark as well a little bit, there was reason to watch the back 9. So it became entertaining. The crowds were better yesterday at the end because they didn't end nearly as late. Like Saturday, they ended, and some of these other days they ended, especially the first day when they ran, they had to stop because of darkness, and then that pushed everything back on Friday a little bit. Saturday, they started them very late. Yes, at the end, it's weird to see a major where the final group is coming in and there's like nobody around to watch them.
Nobody there.
It just looks strange on television. You're like, where the hell is everybody? But yeah, it's unfortunate. That's it. But I mean, it's a great golf course. I thought the last, again, I think they overcorrected for Thursday, but I thought over the weekend Shinnecock played great. I think the fairways were probably a little too wide. I wish they wouldn't have quite widened them that much. But it played difficult, but also very fair. And it was, it ended up being a entertaining U.S. Open.
Yeah, Wyndham Clark was pounding the driver. He had no problem using a driver, even as the round progressed on Sunday and his lead was shrinking. He had all the confidence in the world because he also knows that those fairways are much, much wider. And so there's more room to land in the fairway, which he did for the most part. But you're right. It was a 6-stroke lead going into Sunday, wondering if there'd be just any sort of drama. And there was, but it wasn't that dramatic because Scotty playing alongside him. If Scotty was the one making the run, it would have got really dramatic. But it wasn't Scotty. It was Burns. Not because Scotty's the bigger name. It's because he was playing with him. If the playing partner was the one that was catching him, I think it would have brought a lot of drama into play. It wasn't that dramatic. It got a little antsy, a little hairy for him, but in the end, Clark gets the dub. All right, when we come back, we're talking NBA draft. We'll do so with Parker Fleming. Again, hour one is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery at 305 South Front Street. If you haven't been by the Distillery Bar, what are you waiting for? Fantastic place. They also have a big room, right adjacent to the distillery where they can host wedding rehearsals. They can host even wedding receptions or graduation parties, family reunions. Call them and find out more information about that. If you haven't toured the facilities yet, what are you waiting for? You can celebrate your wins with a guided tour and tasting at Old Dominick Distillery. And check out the website, olddominick.com. They list all their whiskeys and spirits. They list all their signature cocktails and instructions on how you can make them at home using the Old Dominick spirits. Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits. Stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Parker Fleming next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Unlock your new go-to spot, Codes Dispensary in Steele, Missouri, just over an hour from Memphis. When you're ready for a legal, reliable option, they're right up the road. Explore the full menu of top-shelf products in-store and online. Short on time? Order ahead and cruise through the drive-thru for a quick pickup. Stack rewards while you stock up with Club Codes. Earn points for every dollar spent. Codes Dispensary, now open in Steele, Missouri. Supreme cannabis that's worth the drive. Learn more at CodesDispensary.com. That's CodesDispensary.com.
K4TD 349,980, MSRP 24,825, Sorrento TG 453,494, MSRP 34,280, Telluride VG 00528, MSRP 44,510, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, must finance through KFA, excludes tax file and license with approved credit dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details, offer valid through 6/30/26.
Hey, I've got him on the line, Jeff Allen over at Gossett Kia South, and it's the summer sticker sales event going on right now. Hey, Jeff, tell us about it.
Listen to this, Randy. I've got a 2026 Kia K4 LXS at $229 a month. 24-month lease, $34.99 due at signing. 2026 Kia Sorrento LX, $297 a month. And a 2027 Kia Telluride S front-wheel drive, only $449 a month. Both 24-month lease, $39.99 due at signing. Plus, you'll find the all-new 2026 EV9, $12,000 off MSRP, or get 0% for 60 months.
And every Gossett Hyundai comes equipped with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Watching traffic build a little bit more over here where they've been working the last few weeks on 40, especially gets heavy at times in the morning time. Westbound, coming past Warford, Hollywood, headed towards that 101 connector. Throughout the day, they're still over here working on 55 there between Mallory and 3rd Street in both directions. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car, truck, having transmission problems. Come to Amco Transmissions today. 2 locations right here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:26 is the time. Hope you had a great weekend. We're getting you set for the NBA draft. Finally, it seems like it's been forever that we've been talking about it for months, and maybe it's because of the Grizzlies situation that we're hoping the Grizzlies will have this great draft and will turn around things and get that energy moving in a positive direction. But in either case, lots of speculation, lots of things that are going on, and there are some people out there that have done a great job in putting together analysis for the draft, and one of them is our good friend Parker Fleming, who joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. You could check out his free Substack Elitist, which covers the Grizzlies and the NBA draft. His 3rd annual draft guide is out there right now. Follow Parker on Twitter at Paca_Flocka, and he joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. How are you, Parker?
Greg, man, I'm doing great. I'm very glad that it's NBA draft eve, yes, or day away from the draft. But I'm just like you. I'm ready for everything to materialize, ready for the smoke to clear, and also really just excited to see where the players in this talented class end up.
Yeah, look, I love having guests like yourself on the show to break down things. You guys do such a great job. You put a lot of time into that draft guide. With all due respect, I'm tired of talking about. I want action, and we're going to get it tomorrow and Wednesday, and then we could do the post analysis on how we think the Grizzlies did and other teams did around the league. Before we talk about specifics, in generality, when you're putting together this draft guide, do you look at this draft and go, "Wow, this is a special draft"? Is there any conclusion you came to, or any kind of common denominator when putting together this draft with all these great players?
Yeah, I feel like it's a very, very strong draft for sure. It's also a very weird draft because I'm going through my draft guide or going through the board. Obviously, like I feel like the top of the board is I think the top of the board is special. I think after that top 4 of DeBonsta, Boozer, Peterson, and Wilson. There's a lot of very talented players, some with even all-star upside. That guard class, especially, starting at the top with Wagler, Acuff, Flemings, Braden Burries, Michael Brown Jr. I feel like it has a lot of talent, a lot of players that could end up being all-star players, but also I'm like, this group is also flawed at the same time. I don't want to lose sight of that. I actually don't think there's a lot of wings in this class, truth be told. The bigs are good. You have Ademara, Moritz Johnson, Hannes Steinbach. Even you have 2 massive swings for different reasons, with Jaden Quaid since his injury, and Chris Sinak is just raw feel for the game. But I do think this class is very, very good and has a chance to be special. Where it gets weird is just kind of with NIL, it brought back a lot of players that I think in normal years would have stayed in the draft. And so, now you're talking about a second round. Second round's not all that inspiring, to say the least, in my opinion. But still good players to find, maybe players that could end up becoming rotation players and rotation players on good winning teams. We've seen that here recently in examples of guys that stayed in college 4 or 5 years, went on and, they had the upper hand on, the drafts of past where, you're in the second round swinging on a 19 or 20-year-old with upside, whereas now you're getting a 23, 24-year-old with kind of just more certainty, and they're probably a bit more ready for the NBA mentally and physically.
How big of a separation you think there is between those top 4 guys and then the next grouping of guys?
Yeah, I do think that there's actually I think the separation really starts after the third. Like, I think with Boozer, DeBonsta, and Peterson, it's just like eye of the beholder. Who do you like the most of that group? And then after that, I do think Wilson is a little bit my probably take that doesn't line up with the consensus is in that second tier. I actually have it as Wilson and Wagler. I think Wagler is on the same tier as Caleb Wilson, but I also, with Wilson, I just don't get that same feeling that it's like best player on a contender feeling, if that makes sense. So that's where I kind of feel like the tiers start to separate a little bit, is after 3 and starting with Wilson. But again, that's only a 2-player tier, and then it starts to kind of break a little bit more.
What player or players do you think are going to be overvalued?
Overvalued. Nate Ament. I'll be quick with that. Nate Ament. I feel like we fall for that same song and dance every year. 6'10", dribble, pass, shoot, wing, creation, upside. Oh, don't look at the percentages. He has all the upside and tools in the world. He was historically bad as a 6'10" player on twos and shooting at the rim. When you look at players that shot less than 45% overall on twos and less than 55% at the rim, as guys that are like, at least 6'8", you're not finding a lot of NBA players. And I would not want to be in the room when you're on the clock in the lottery and Nate Ament is being heavily discussed. So yeah, that's the main player. Other than that, Michael Brown Jr. scares me a little bit just because he had the back injury this year, only played 21 games at Louisville, and his decision-making can kind of get out of control a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I'm drafting a lead guard, but I don't know if he has the control and the decision-making, even though, near 6'5" in shoes, lightning pull-up jumper, can get to the rim. Like, he has all the skills that you like, but I also fear that, instead of being that pull-up shooting NBA star point guard, he kind of is closer to being more of a Jordan Poole to me than being that guy. So those are the 2 players that I fear are being a little bit overvalued when kind of assessing the landscape from the outside a little bit.
Those were 2 certainly that when I was looking at where you had them ranked stood out. And I like Brown a lot. I could certainly see what your point is on him. You have Burries kind of up there more in that because you have Wagler, Flemings, then Braden Burries. You have Burries even ahead of Darius Acuff in your rankings. What do you like so much about Burries versus, say, a guy like Acuff?
Yeah, with Burries, when comparing him against Acuff, the first thing that kind of stands out is the size differential. Braden Burries, about 6'4", 6'5", close to 200 pounds. And I just think his upside is being a little undersold a little bit. For one, I watched teams like the Knicks in the playoffs. I watched the Spurs in the playoffs. I watched the Thunder. And Burries looks like one of those kinds of, wing defenders, guard defenders, 3-and-D guys that I see in that series. But also, too, when it comes to effectiveness shooting off the dribble, he was one of the better ones of the bunch. I think the only ones that had better pull-up shooting efficiency were Wagler and Christian Anderson out of Texas Tech. So I'm just like, hey, is there just a gear of upside that we're not talking about? But also, too, like, I just know that he's going to be a guy that's going to be on the court, close games in the conference finals and situations like that. So that's where I kind of got there with Burries. And then with Acuff, it's just, I think he's going to be a guy that's going to put up numbers. I think he could be an all-star point guard on good teams. I just worry that the defense is going to be something that could really, I'm not even going to say hold him back, because we've seen a lot of players overcome it, but I'm afraid that it is going to put a strain on a team's upside with how bad the defense is. I know we just saw Jalen Brunson. I do think Jalen Brunson is an anomaly. For one, not like he's strong as an ox for his size, a lot of craft and playing off of 2 feet, but also, too, the Knicks kind of put a masterclass in how to build around a small guard. A big like Karl-Anthony Towns that could pass the ball and stretch the floor. Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. Like, there was a time where all their 29 teams in the league were chasing after this guy. The Memphis Grizzlies included offered 4 picks for Mikal Bridges and 3 picks for OG Anunoby. Josh Hart, another guy that fits very well with Jalen Brunson. Mitchell Robinson. They just kind of put together, like, when you commit to having a small guard as your franchise cornerstone, you had to be absolute. I mean, for one, you have to be absolutely perfect with the injury luck. I mean, let's also be real about the Knicks. They dominated the finals, and they had all their guys on the floor. I don't think that's a coincidence. But also, too, like, you have to make you have zero margin, or not zero, but you have very, very little margin for error when it comes to building around a small guard. If you have one misstep and building around it, it's not like you're going to have a cap. And that's just kind of where I feel with Darius Acuff in relation to guys that I have ahead of him from the guard spot, like Wagler, like Flemings, and like Burries.
Parker Fleming joining us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. All right, Parker, let's talk about the Grizzlies and the expectations. Again, number 3 pick, they're in a good position. There's been a lot of smoke out there with Washington and what they may do at 1. And then with Utah, you would think if DeBonsa's on the board, they take him 100%. But there are mocks I'm looking at right now that have DeBonsa and then Boozer going to Utah and Peterson ending up in Memphis. When it's all said and done, the smoke is cleared. Who do the Grizzlies have at number 3?
I think it's going to be Cameron Boozer. Just because, while it's, the smoke is pretty prominent about Boozer in Utah, with a lot of it. Obviously, for one, I've maintained this belief. I think Boozer's the number 1 player in the class. And if he's picked at 1 or 2, I don't feel like I'm allowed to be upset, because I'm like, okay, well, I had him as the best player in an NBA team. Agreed.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
I can't say anything, but, with these fits in particular, with the Utah stuff in particular, it's the Dylan Harper thing with the Spurs where, they already have Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., even though there's the weirdness with Walker Kessler's free agency, I do think that's going to get settled. You see the whole, don't draft for need at 2, but it's one of those things where the talent separation is not that wide between Cameron Boozer and Darren Peterson. And then, quite frankly, those are my 1 and 2 in this class anyways. To where, like, I don't think you need to draft for need, but you need to have a roadmap to put together your best 5 on the floor. And that's a little bit more clear with Darren Peterson for Utah. And I just also have seen different prominent Jazz voices online kind of say, like, hey, they're probably leaning DeBonsa or Peterson, whoever's left between the 2. So I think that will leave Cameron Boozer for the Grizzlies at 3.
If they do get Boozer at 3, who's a guy that you're hoping is there for them at 16? If they do pick at 16, let's just pretend that, because we don't know if there's a good chance they'll trade it, but let's just say they are picking at 16.
Yeah. Picking at 16, 3 weeks ago I would have said Morez Johnson, but I don't think he's going to be there. That's a very good question. I like Dalen Swain out of Texas, just another big wing creation bet. I don't think you can ever have too many big wings. You know, maybe Dalen Swain, maybe like he's not going to have the ball in his hands as much as he did at Texas, but maybe you end up finding something where you do find a steal in the draft because of his creation tools as a 6'8" wing. But at the end of the day, you're going to end up with a guy that you could probably play in a playoff rotation, even off the bench. I would love Dalen Swain. I've seen guards tied, and that's the thing. Like now with like probably looking like Morris Johnson is going to go higher. I think Hannes Steinbach will go at 16, but I think his fit with Boozer is a little weirder now. I mean, from there, I would probably say like
Phylon.
I would love Phylon. Phylon. I would probably either go Phylon or Bennett Sturts after that as well. So
Yeah,
for me,
you
with
like
how
Sturts over Anderson?
razor thin. So on my board, Sturts was ahead of Anderson, and a lot of it was the combination of just a little bit of the size advantage, but also too, Sturts was honestly out of pretty much all the guards in the class, he was the best finisher at the rim. And that kind of matters to me when putting out a pick and roll centric offense. But I would look it, like I said, that part is razor thin. That's also one thing that kind of gets hidden a little bit with my board, where it's like, oh, you have so and so over them, but I'm like, yeah, but like the same tier. Like it's not one of those things I have. Like, oh, like if I had, I don't even know off the top of my head. I think I had Bennett Sturts 20 and Anderson might have been like 23. Like I don't think Bennett Sturts is 3 times as good as Anderson. That's how I laid it out. But also too, when you talk about pick and roll creation, Christian Anderson has that in spades. So like, I would love Christian Anderson. I just get my whole thing with 16, especially if those other guys, like I mentioned, with Steinbach and Morris Johnson are not available. I'm not 110% privy on guard unless Zach Kleiman believes that they can actually become the starting point guard of the future. But there are a lot of talented guards in this class where if they decide to go guard, I mean, I think another guy that could be a play for them there is Cam Carr out of Baylor. 7'1" wingspan, very good shooter, can finish above the rim, play fast. I think his defense gets a little overrated because of the wingspan, because he's only like 180 pounds, but very good shot blocker for the wing position. So that's another guy if they don't want to go guard.
But let me ask you this, Parker. Do they have to walk out of this draft after Brandon Clark's untimely passing and the injury situation with Edey? Do they have to walk out of this draft with a big? Like other than Boozer, I'm talking about a center.
Yeah, in some capacity. Like, am I like? Look, they could trade down from 32 and go sign a big on a 2-way. Quite frankly, if we're talking bigs, particularly, probably what you're asking is like a backup big, right?
Yes.
A guy that is your everyday backup big. I would rather target a veteran to do that. To be honest, I would like to just have a veteran big as Edey's backup, just so I know that it's like, okay, if Edey has to miss time, you have a vet that's the backup.
As long as it's not Taj Gibson.
Yeah. I mean, heck, even like they swooped up Jock Landale, and Jock Landale was solid.
He was
solid for Memphis. Like, you don't have to do anything. Yeah, I don't think you have to do anything too crazy.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But I would like a veteran. But I mean, look, if you're at 32, or even if you're in trade-up range, because you know the Grizzlies had that big traded player exception, you have teams in the late 20s that are going to be looking to shed salary to get out of the aprons. Like, could you move up a little bit and go get like a Taurus Reed out of UConn, or go get a Zuby Ejiofor out of St. John's? That would be very worthwhile. Zuby Ejiofor was actually just listed as the 32nd pick for ESPN's latest mock draft that just dropped this morning. So I was reading that before I joined the show. So they could go out and get one of those two guys. That'd be great. But I mean, when it comes to getting like leaving, I want to say just leave the off season with a big, because I would just rather rely on. And granted, there actually just may be more upside in getting a Taurus Reed or getting a Hannes Steinbach or a Zuby Ejiofor. There may be more upside. as opposed to just getting a big via trade or free agency where you just kind of know who they are and the upside isn't all that crazy high. But
that's a good point.
That's how I feel about the big situation.
If you want to get more reading done prior to the NBA draft, which again is a 2-day affair, tomorrow round 1 and round 2 on Wednesday, then you need to check out Parker's NBA draft guide. And of course, for all things Grizzlies, NBA draft, all things NBA, it's the Substack Elitist. Again, Parker, tell everybody about that.
Yeah, Substack Elitist, my free Memphis Grizzlies NBA draft Substack. And if you decide that you want to be a paid subscriber, all monetary support goes to St. Jude. I have other means and avenues of fundraising. I leave my fundraiser page link at the bottom of each post. I have merch that came out where all proceeds go to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And I'm going to have a Memphis Grizzlies draft preview before Tuesday's draft. And I also just dropped a mock draft last night. It's like a little threefold. What I'm thinking because of the consensus, what I would do, and then what I think based off of the GM's track record. So that was a lot of fun to do. Check all that out, and I appreciate y'all, as always, giving me this platform.
Yeah, you're the man, my friend. Appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Parker.
Does a great job. That draft guide is very, very extensive.
Time-consuming, right?
There's a lot of information there on every player and everything else, and I can't imagine the amount of time he's got to put into that. That's got to be quite time-consuming, but it is a fantastic thing, and to make that available to people for free is really. I mean, you're not going to find many that do that type of extensive thing and put it free out there for people. But it is really, really well done.
Folks, Lawn Solutions is a locally owned weed control fertilization company that serves the greater Memphis area. If you haven't had treatment done on your lawn, I'm telling you, with all this rain, the grass is growing wild, but so are the weeds, and they can kill them for you. And when they do, they treat the lawn all year long. That's what they do at Lawn Solutions. They apply what they call post-emergence during the summer months, pre-emergence during the winter months to control the germination of the weeds. They can kill those dandelions and crabgrass, get rid of the moles and the grub worms that do so much damage on your lawn. That's what they do. They're experts in making sure that your lawn is beautiful. They're not a lawn mowing service. They're a lawn treatment service. Call them at 901-867-5626. That's 901-867-5626. Or go online to LawnSolutionsInc.net. When you call them, ask for Brandon. Brandon Holly and his team of professionals can take care of you. Tell them that I sent you. It's Lawn Solutions. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to base or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Memphis is a love song to soul and style. With the full suite of sought-after designers, brilliant natural diamonds, an elegant bar, luxury VIP lounge, and more, a trip to our store is an experience like no other. Just like the city we love. Stop by any of our stores or visit Sissy'sLogCabin.com and experience Sissy's for yourself. Memphis is our home, and we're your jeweler.
Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
At Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike, it's the Volkswagen Driver Days event, and it's drivers wanted. If you're looking for sporty, we Gossett 2026 Jetta S. Just $249 a month, $249 a month for Jetta S. Luxury just got a new definition in 2026 Tiguan 2.0 TS. Now $269 a month. Brand new Tiguan S, $269 a month. And right now, Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike's got 2026 Atlas SE, only $329 a month. That's only $329 a month for a brand new Atlas SE. Ready for a new ride? We got you covered at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike, 1875 Covington Pike, or shop online anytime at GossettVWMemphis.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Atlas TC 564,681, MSRP 41,911, Jetta TMO 312,217, MSRP 25,791, Tiguan TMO 43,763, MSRP 32,881. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must be financed through Volkswagen Credit PF 895. Excludes tax title license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer in 6/30/26 dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery in downtown Memphis. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
That's me in the corner.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:51 is the time. Again, big thanks to Parker Fleming for joining us. So I thought things were moving pretty slow. A lot of talk, a lot of speculation about trades before the actual draft tomorrow and Wednesday. And then finally last night, Oklahoma City pulled the trigger on trading one of their valuable assets in a backup role, Aaron Wiggins. But they're so deep and they need to shed some salary. Wiggins is a very productive player, and he's headed to Atlanta as Atlanta gives Oklahoma City a couple of second-round picks.
Yeah, I mean, this, according to Bobby Marks, lowered Oklahoma City's tax bill from $213 million to $152 million. So saving $61 million in taxes just off this move alone gets them just under, I believe, with depending on what they do, if they decline the player options on Hartenstein and Dort and Kenrick Williams, I think it gets them right at the luxury tax level, and then they can either decide to re-sign some of those guys for longer term deals or whatever. But Wiggins wasn't really a part of the playoff rotation. Pretty much had fallen out of the rotation, so somebody they didn't need, and they could save a bunch of money by getting rid of him.
But he's still a guy who can really help out a team, and in this case, the Atlanta Hawks. The guy can shoot the three. The Hawks have put together, J-Ham, slowly a nice little team out there in the Eastern Conference to make a challenge at the Knicks and the Boston Celtics and the rest of the big boys.
Even especially, even coming after this series this year, they gave the Knicks pretty much the best run.
They did.
Just in regards to it. Bringing CJ back and then adding in more youth. Giving Quinn Snyder some toys to play with, man. That's a good look.
Is this trade mean, in your opinion, Eli, more likely that Oklahoma City keeps both those first-round picks, uses both those first-round picks?
It certainly puts them in a better position to use both of them. Again, I mean, they're trying to figure out, there's going to be a lot of salary cap gymnastics going on with them. But, they've also said that they're willing to pay. They understand, like, they're in that championship window, obviously, and so they're not afraid to be paying luxury tax. But again, with a guy for them that was pretty much out of your rotation and it could save you that much in tax money, that certainly is a trade you'll do. But yeah, I think that, if there's been a lot of talk about them trading and maybe they do end up trying to package 2 for 1 and do it that way. But it allows them more of an opportunity if they can't get a deal done to use both those first round picks and not be killed salary wise.
And speaking of the Hawks, with the addition of Wiggins, CJ McCollum, who came over in the Washington trade, the Trae Young trade, he's re-upped for a year for $21 million. I think that's a bargain.
Yeah, not a bad deal at all from a Hawks perspective. Obviously he did some really good things for them in the playoffs, had a couple of against the Knicks and the 2 wins there. So to have a veteran guy like that around, yeah, I think that's certainly worth $21 million.
And again, teams right now can negotiate with their own players, so they can't negotiate with players outside the organization just yet. So other news over the weekend. Again, not a lot of news, but Colin Gillespie, Jordan Goodwin, as expected. They re-upped with the Suns. Two valuable players, mostly bench players, but with injuries, Gillespie played a lot. Goodwin got some run. So both those guys re-up with the Phoenix Suns. The Memphis Grizzlies news over the weekend. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope did exercise his player option for $21.6 million as expected.
Yeah, I mean, there was no doubt he's going to do that. He's not getting anywhere near that in any other new deal, even if you want looking at more years. That was one that certainly, and from a Grizzlies perspective, that is a deal that becomes a very tradable deal if you needed to. Now the Grizzlies have the massive trade exception that they have already, but that at some point, if you wanted to make a move, that becomes a very tradable deal. Any expiring contract like that, teams will like.
And who says you can't come home again? The Grizzlies, according to reports, are hiring Mike Curtis as the new head of player health and performance. He was at Virginia, but spent 6 seasons with the Grizzlies from 2002 through 2008 as the strength and conditioning coach. So a different role, but still a role that helps these players be ready to play and not sit in civilian clothes on the sidelines. I'm not surprised that they made once again another change, but Mike Curtis, a very familiar name and very familiar face in the Grizzlies organization.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that wanted to see them, make changes and believe maybe that was the issue with all of these injuries. They're making those changes. We'll see if it does help at all with keeping guys healthy and ready to go throughout the season.
Yeah. Their vice president and head of sports medicine, Eric, is it Otter? Spent the past 10 seasons with the organization. Oversaw a department that included athletic trainers, physical therapists, performance coaches, and other medical and performance staff. Now, there were players that gave him a lot of credit, but I don't think it's a coincidence. With all those injuries, all the backlash, all the jokes about the Grizzlies and their physical status with these players, that they go ahead and they make a move. And again, they bring in somebody who had a pretty good track record. I can't tell you off the top of my head his run 2002 through 2008. I certainly remember him very, very well, but I don't remember a rash of injuries. Again, maybe a coincidence, but the reason you make those moves is because you start after a while, start questioning everything that's going on. You may have a lot of confidence in those individuals, but if the record tells you that there's more guys out than should be playing and more guys missing games than there should be, way worse than the norm, then you have to look at it and go, well, maybe we do need to make a change. So they're going to do that.
Folks, you know that Central Barbecue serves up great barbecue on a daily basis at all the various locations around town. Well, at the Central Avenue location, they serve up breakfast on a daily basis now as well. From 7 a.m. until 10:30 a.m., you can enjoy a delicious breakfast at Central Barbecue at 2235 Central Avenue. From biscuits to breakfast burritos, toaster sandwiches, French toast, you can check it all out at Central Barbecue. Again, that's the original on Central Avenue in that brand new rebuilt Central Barbecue location. They also now have a full bar there, the OG Bar, serving up mixed drinks, wine, and local beers daily from 11 a.m. until close. So you can get breakfast in the morning and get a mixed drink in the afternoon or in the evening as well, all at Central Barbecue. That's the Central Avenue location, 2235 Central Avenue.
The Memphis Tigers basketball squad has a 15th and final player for their roster for the 26-27 season. We'll give you all the details when we return as we open up Hour 2. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Let Bryant Dacus and Brett Norsworthy take you home every afternoon. Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Yes, it's that time again, and after all, you bought or sold a house 25 years ago, and everything should be the same. Wrong. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and just like artificial intelligence, AI, it's changing the landscape. Buying and selling a home today is worlds apart from when you last did it. whether it was 25 years ago, 40 years ago, or 2 years ago. Just like getting through a jungle, you need a trusted guide who has a highly successful strategic marketing program when you're selling and who also knows the trails and pitfalls when you're buying. You may have heard of me due to the fact that I not only am the worst golfer in town, but people often say when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn. Whether you're thinking of selling or buying or merely want a conversation about what to do or not to do, you can always reach me, Shell Dunn Rosengarten, at 483-0546 or email me at memphisrelocate.com. That's memphisrelocate.com or call me at 483-0546.
You know that feeling when something is supposed to be complicated and then it's not? That's the Dobbs Brothers way. For your new Chevrolet, there's no games, no runaround, no surprises, just straight answers from people who actually mean them. Buying a car shouldn't feel like a battle, and at Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet, it doesn't. Trust, transparency, and driving our community forward. That's the Dobbs Brothers way. Shop Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet of Bartlett today.
The best clubs never stand still. Colonial Country Club has been an iconic part of Memphis golf for generations. And today, a multi-million-dollar reinvention is reshaping its future. Members enjoy championship golf and family-focused amenities including pickleball, tennis, swimming, fitness, dining, and a vibrant club calendar. History matters. So does what comes next. Membership opportunities are now available. Visit thenewcolonial.com to learn how you can be a part of Colonial's next chapter.
Rebel Nation, get the latest on everything Ole Miss sports with the Cannon Motors of Mississippi Rebel Yell Hotline. Join Rebel insiders Chuck Rounsville, Yancey Porter, and Gary Darby Monday nights at 6 as they break down the latest with the Rebels along with even more insight from special guests. Rebel Yell Hotline, Mondays at 6 p.m. on WHBQ.
Stay up to date with everything going on in Ole Miss athletics with Rebel Yell Hotline every Monday night from 6 to 7 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Well, good morning. As that volume of traffic seems like it's gotten a little bit heavier southbound. Austin P trying to get on that ramp there onto I-40. It's building now around that 101 connector over there through that road work. It can be tricky at times throughout the day over here. You never know what you're going to get on 40 east and west there around Warford, Hollywood, all the way up to Watkins around that 101 connector. Hey, bridal season is here. Shop local this week. You'll be glad you did because you'll save money at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden. Weekdays from 11 to 1.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:03 the time, hour number 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings, getting the work week started on this Monday, June 22nd, 2026. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Jay Ham with you. We're live and local broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. If you're getting set to leave your house, there's rain in the area. Although now I just looked outside during the break. It's stopped over here, Ridgeway and Mount Moriah, where we're located, the Flynn Broadcasting compound. But there is a chance of rain throughout the day and thunderstorms. There is lightning still detected in the area, so be very careful. The temperature right now is 70. The high today, only 78. Tonight, 67. Again, the chance of showers, thunderstorms, flash flooding possible, damaging wind possible. Yet there could be some spots where you see the sun. There could be some time today where the sun pops out. It's one of those weird weather days. Tomorrow looks to be pretty nice, and then more chances of rain and thunderstorms on Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures pretty much throughout the week, low to mid-80s, and by the end of the week, the upper 80s. Hour 2 of the program brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. They are your family's jeweler. Your bridal engagement and anniversary jeweler headquarters has been serving Memphians and Mid-Southerners for 6 decades. You're going to pop the question this summer, this fall, whatever the case may be. Maybe wait around till Christmas, right? Pop the question. You want that special engagement ring, whether it be a beautiful natural earth diamond or a lab-grown diamond. They have variety for you at James Gaddis Jewelers. They also have a price point to suit everyone's budget. So if you're looking for that special diamond engagement ring, wedding ring, personally designed wedding sets, this is the place for you. But for all your jewelry needs, from watches of all types to necklaces and bracelets and earrings, all kinds of birthstones, antique and vintage jewelry, it's James Gaddis Jewelers. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, closed on Sunday. And every Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know Memphis Redbirds outfielder Joshua Baez in the recent 6-game series with Nashville went 7 for 23 with 6 homers, 13 runs batted in, and a 1.130 slugging percentage. The Birds won the International League first half, clinching yesterday. In his last 23 games, 14 home runs and 35 RBI. Jeez. That is one hot player.
He's been pretty darn good, that is for sure.
And congratulations to the Redbirds. Again, they clinched the first half of the International League season by winning that game yesterday over Nashville 10-8. They had a 10-1 lead. They had to hold on, kind of like Wyndham Clark at the U.S. Open. Redbirds will host the International League Championship Series September 22nd through the 24th at AutoZone Park. Well, big news over the weekend for Memphis Tigers basketball. We had heard the grumblings for the last couple of weeks that Penny, who came out once or twice and said that he's basically going to hold on to that 15th roster spot unless something really good comes up. And we had heard the rumors that there was possibly a fish on the line from the international basketball world. And give Penny and the Tigers credit, they were able to reel him in. Nemanja Popovic. The Tigers have added the 6'8" power forward. He was the most valuable player in his home country of Serbia. He's 24 years old, played professionally in Poland, where he averaged 14.3 points per game, 6.4 rebounds in 27 games. Also played professionally in the Adriatic League. Believe it or not, was a teammate of Malcolm Dandridge and former Duke star Jeremy Roach. But Nemanja Popovic, very good, athletic, talented player, professional, a guy with experience, now joins the University of Memphis Tigers.
Yeah, it's obviously in this day and age, it's a little different. You can go get these professional guys and certainly put up some very respectable numbers. I don't know exactly how good those leagues are that he's played in, including the Polish league, which he had played last year, but 14 points, 6.5 rebounds. If you could do that in a professional league, and I don't think I'm pretty sure that's not just a pure garbage league. Like there's some pretty good players in that league. And so, very much put up some impressive numbers. You never know for sure exactly how that's going to translate over here to the college game. But certainly he's got some skill. That's the bottom line. He's got some skill, and that should give him at least, and he's obviously a very mature guy who will bring a level of physicality and everything else, to that front line. So certainly looks on paper like a nice addition.
Yeah, he has some skill and he has some experience. And I think that's awfully important. We're only privy to the video that we see that's posted on the internet, and they're only going to post their good highlights. But what I saw was a guy who could take the ball to the hole, not just settle for a shot. 6'8", could be physical, good rebounder, good numbers as far as rebounding. Like you said, you don't know how good these leagues are, but having had that experience of being a professional, he brings that into the mix. So this is a very interesting and eclectic roster that Penny has put together. He's got players with vast experience from the collegiate level that played at bigger programs than Memphis, and then others that played in what you would consider smaller programs than Memphis. He's got some high school guys now. He's got a couple of returning players So a little bit of guys that can help with the new players in what Penny wants and what he demands, even though the staff has changed a lot, but Penny is still there. So to have a guy like Thetford and Wharton, they know what to expect, and that can help out the teammates. Everybody's been together for a while now, a couple of weeks. This new player, Popovich, is already enrolled. So this is good. How this roster, what the shakedown of this roster will be, nobody knows at this point. Nobody knows. I can't wait to once camp opens up and get a chance to go over there and watch these guys practice, to see them. You know, I don't get much time with them, but when I'm getting ready to do a game or two, I'm able to go over and see them. I'm just curious. It's like the football team. We know some of the players. I've seen some of the practices for whatever I was allowed to stay over there during the spring. It's hard to come to a conclusion, but you see talent. And I see talent here, and it'll be interesting to see how the starting lineups determine how the breakdown of the rotation will be.
Well, I said, I mean, even before this edition, but this edition makes sense that if you just go off what you were looking for and how to put together a roster, they've checked those boxes.
Yes. Yes.
And this, the box that probably had been checked the least was some size and physicality up front. And so he comes in and adds to that, and may very well end up be that starting four. Again, with that just being an older guy who's been through professional leagues, certainly there is a lot of value in that. But, from point guard to shooters to size creators, those types of things, they've checked those boxes, and it looks on paper like a well-constructed roster just from a need-filling basis. How good some of these guys are, well, that remains to be seen. But just from a needs basis of what you're looking for, they've pretty much checked all of those boxes.
Well, I don't know how many times I said it. I'm not saying Penny listened to what I said, but my construction of a team. You need to get that great ball-handling point guard who thinks pass first and is a great free throw shooter. And that's what they got in Reed, who comes from Northwestern, having played in the Big Ten. And you got some other guys who could play the point guard position too, but I would imagine he'll be the starting point guard. They got the guy that I think fits perfectly. Then I said, you got to go out and get some knockdown three-point shooters. And they got a couple of guys that can really shoot the three. Now, what's interesting is the kid from Washington State, who shoots 41 or 42% from three and has pretty good size. Would they play him as a three and play this guy at the four? Because what you don't want is a guy who shoots the three that well to not be in there as a starter unless it's false numbers, right? All I know is those are the numbers. And to me, to have that kind of a knockdown shooter is important. So that's the second thing I need on my team. And the third need for me is physicality. A couple of big guys will knock you around. Now, you're right. You hit it right on the head. That's probably the least of the three areas that they went after, but they did get a couple of guys, smaller schools, North Alabama, whatever the case is, that are good rebounders. I mean, solid physical rebounders. They may not be the biggest scorers in the world, but they rebound and they'll throw their body around. That's important too. We saw that it was the year of the centers. It was the year of the bigs this past year in college basketball. I mean, my gosh, you saw what Michigan did, but they weren't the only team. So I think Memphis did a pretty good job in addressing that. So they got talent, they got experience, they got some young players waiting in the wings. They got high school guys with junior college guys that, like I said, returned. A couple of guys that returned. They didn't need 6 guys to return. Even though he offered, he didn't need all those guys. They were bad last year. They were putrid. This year, I think this team could be really, really good. And again, in this conference, they should be the best. And they weren't the best, not even close last year, but they should be. Not that other teams aren't going out and getting players as well, but a lot of the talent from the American Conference from last year is gone. They've gone on their merry way. I think Penny, with the help of now a general manager and whoever else was involved have put together what I think is an interesting team on paper. On paper, how they use the players, what the rotation will be, how these players execute the game plan. That's still to be seen once the season starts. We're a long ways away, and they got a very tough schedule, an extremely tough schedule. That's still not complete yet. They still have to throw in a couple of more bye games, but they got a tough schedule, so they're going to have to be good from the get-go. And being together as a team, as a unit, as early as they were, June 1st, I think is paramount for success for this team. Okay. NBA. We talked a lot about it in the first hour of the show. We had Parker Fleming on to break down the draft. But the big news right now is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Shams Charania on ESPN just moments ago said the trade of Giannis is happening by tomorrow. But he didn't say which team or teams are going to be involved in the trade. Most people believe it's going to be Boston now as a front runner, Miami possibly. Maybe there won't be a third team involved. But he says absolutely, I guess from his insiders with the Bucks, that the trade is happening before the draft tomorrow. And that will shake up everything.
Well, I mean, it's not really, the damn owner of the team told us they wanted to do it before the draft.
Yeah, it doesn't mean saying it and doing it are two different things, though.
But again, that's, I don't think it's that everybody expected that to happen. Now, there's the talk that Boston, that there could get a deal done with Boston possibly that does not include a third team with Jaylen Brown going to Milwaukee. We'll see. This may just be more of Milwaukee trying to posture to get Miami to give them more than what they are currently offering. But yeah, I would expect that it gets done some point here either today or early tomorrow, and then we'll see where other dominoes may fall from there once that is settled.
Well, Jay Ham, what's your thoughts on possibly something happening mano a mano, Milwaukee and Boston, where Jaylen Brown ends up in Milwaukee?
That one I'm kind of struggling to buy into. I'm looking at it more like Giannis ended up in Miami, more so as a realistic possibility. I just find that one easier to, I guess, put together.
Yeah, I really don't understand the Boston thing. I don't know for sure what Milwaukee's going to do with Jaylen Brown. Like, it's like, oh, okay, you replace Giannis with Jaylen Brown. Now let's him have the ball in his hands all the time. And he was very happy doing that this year. And I don't know.
So even though Jaylen Brown's an excellent player, an all-star, you're downsizing? Is that what we're talking about? You're just replacing, you're going down a step, you go from Giannis to Brown because Giannis had the ball, Brown had the ball?
It's not starting a rebuild, really. Like, it's just taking a, like, I don't know what Jaylen Brown does for Milwaukee. You're still bad, and you're just paying this guy a bunch of money. Like, what?
It just don't make sense in terms of progression.
But if you're going to trade away the greatest player that's ever played for your franchise, and even though it will be technically a rebuild, don't you want something big in return as opposed to just pieces of draft picks and this and that and some other role players? Jaylen Brown, you could build around Jaylen Brown, can you not?
It's Jaylen Brown in his prime, but it's also Milwaukee going the complete opposite direction of where they were already going. It don't make sense.
Okay, so Miami, I think they would have to bring a third team in. Is that what the talk is?
No.
Not necessarily? So what are you going to land? What are we talking about them landing? Tyler Hero?
He's a Milwaukee kid.
Is that what we're talking about, Tyler? Wouldn't you rather have Jaylen Brown than Tyler Hero?
He's going to be the big money piece. I mean, you have to have money to match these things.
Well, why wouldn't you rather have Jaylen Brown than Tyler Hero if that's possible? Again, this is just right now.
It'd be how long they will be able to even do anything with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I mean, Miami's going to be a lot lot of different things. Right. It's not just one player.
Oh, I know. Kilo Ware, Jaime Jaquez, all these guys are.
It's not a player you're paying $60 million who's not as good as the old guy you were paying $60 million with nothing else around, with nothing else included.
But aren't they trading Giannis? They're trading Giannis because it's finally come to a head, even though he has been a trooper. Let's be honest. He's been in Milwaukee a long time. He brought him a championship.
Absolutely.
But finally, it's like a relationship that lasts and lasts, and then finally it kind of crumbles. Not an implosion, but just like pieces come off, and now you got to make a move. They probably don't want to make a move, and if it worked out, they would rather keep him, but they have to make the trade. It's not like it's a real bad breakup.
It's kind of gut-wrenching because it's got the writings of, like, we're going back to purgatory real soon. You know, when the situation, just Milwaukee's situation with Giannis alone, like you mentioned, this where once-in-a-generation player comes in, is a complete trooper, wins a championship, does everything, wins all the major awards, and now you pretty much hit that wall. He's not retiring, but it's noted that it's time to move on.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like, again, that's why it's not working because paying him $60 million does not allow them to do things around him to make the roster better.
Yeah.
So why trade him for a guy who makes $60 million who isn't as good as him?
Financial problem.
You're still going to be in the same spot financially and not be able to build enough, do anything. Where if you go, and Brown's actually under contract for longer than him.
Right.
Whereas you want to get pieces to allow you to build something for the future. I don't believe Jaylen Brown does that.
What did he make when they won the championship? What did Giannis make when he won the championship? Sure, a lot of money.
Far less than what he's getting now, because that was 5 years ago, but yeah.
I mean, Boston, the reason why Boston was in the position they were this year, and obviously came to a screeching halt in the postseason, was Jaylen Brown. Tatum was out. Jaylen Brown, after all the trades they made, after losing Tatum for most of the season, Jaylen Brown carried that Celtics team. It was going to be a complete let's wait till everybody's healthy year, right? I'm not going to say a rebuild year. It wasn't a rebuild, retool. It was just, there's not much we could do. We're all hurt.
And you can do that again, have him replicate that in Milwaukee, and they'll probably get a similar result in terms of playoff appearance. They'll be out in the first round. They probably won't make it to Game 7 or be a 2 seed, but they can probably make the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at their roster right now. Ryan Rollins is an up-and-coming player. Portis is still on the roster. After that, not much, to be honest with you. Where are they in the draft? Where's Milwaukee picking?
10th.
Yeah, you're going to get a great draft pick. I don't know. I've never understood. This happens a lot in baseball, where the team is pretty good, they get an injury, and then they just fold up shop. Then they trade everybody at the trade deadline. I'm like, what are you doing? Now you got to start over again. Like, the Pittsburghs of the world, they did that so many times. Like, all right, start over again. Start over again. Well, why start over again? You just had a key injury. Wait till the guy gets healthy again. Spend a little bit of money, and maybe you're competitive. I don't understand. I mean, you have a superstar who you're trading away to bring in pieces as opposed to bring in another superstar. I'd take the other superstar.
But you're not good with this superstar who's better than the superstar you say you're getting.
Giannis was banged up most of the year, and you just won a title with him.
But he's still not. You're not going to be better with Jaylen Brown.
They're not even a threat with Jaylen Brown in this roster. Like, they're nothing.
How do you know?
Because I just saw it with Giannis, who's better than him.
What do you mean? Giannis won a title, and then again, Giannis was hurt last year.
That was 5 years ago.
5 years ago, though.
He still was hurt.
Yeah, I mean...
You don't think Milwaukee would have been competitive if Giannis is playing 75 games?
I mean, but also it's probably a deal where it's time for Giannis to get out of Milwaukee.
No, that's true. I agree with that 100%.
Matched, you know?
Okay, I just... To me, I'm like, I can get another great player who almost carried single-handedly Boston. He did carry him for a long time.
He carried him, but it only got them a first-round result.
Do you know what?
Well, yeah, because Tatum came back and started hogging the ball.
Milwaukee's record was with Giannis played this year? 17-19.
Was he ever 100%? Giannis? Was he ever?
Well, they didn't even win 50% of the games he played.
I don't know. All right, so you want Jaime Jaquez and Kel'el Ware and...
I'm taking an expiring,
the Miami Sea Aquarium,
expiring contract in Tyler Hero, and I'm taking pieces for the future over a guy making $60 million for the next 3 seasons.
They really have to start
who make me no good.
How many years for Milwaukee at that rate to become a player again?
They have to start
5 minimum.
Yeah.
At least they have a title.
How many for them to be a player if they take Jaylen Brown? Like, they're not a player. And he's making $60 million for the next 3 years.
It's going to be a lot of teams.
I don't know why you're
who they
downsizing Jaylen Brown. I mean,
I'm not. He just doesn't make sense for Milwaukee. You're trading a $60 million guy for a $60 million guy.
There'll be a lot of organizations that see that fate, and basically it's going to be designed around big money. Trying to stay duck up underneath the tax apron away from the big money, and you're not in position to move forward and be progressive and be better.
Hey, it's nice to get the pieces and all that, but let me tell you something. If you could get Jaylen Brown for Ja Morant, which is impossible, they would do it in a second. So they would take another big name guy, and Ja was a rising star until he got shot down. The point being is I'm getting a guy who I'm selling tickets. Jaylen Brown can sell tickets. Jaime Jaquez isn't selling tickets. I don't know. I got to look at a small market like Milwaukee and go, why are people coming? Give me hope. Well, I got an all-star in Jaylen Brown.
That's not hope.
Because
they just saw their team not be good with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Why do they think, oh my God, we got Jaylen Brown to replace him? Now we're awesome.
And then they also saw it break down when they tried to make the move to bring Dame Lillard over. That didn't work out. They tried. Kind of come and go. They tried, and it just didn't work.
They tried. I mean, there might be somebody that wants to play with Jaylen Brown. And again, they got a lot for Giannis. Believe me, they got an NBA title. That guy doesn't have to pay for another lunch or dinner anytime at all. His rest of his life, even if he's on another team, comes back to Milwaukee, that guy could walk the streets and he'd be they'll throw confetti at him because they love the guy. They got a lot out of him. Yeah, this year they weren't that good, but he was banged up a lot. They also made a change in their coach. They got Jenkins coming in, who I think's a really good coach, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'd go for the superstar. If I can get the superstar. How old's Jaylen Brown, by the way?
Probably right at 30.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he's 35, 36 years old.
I don't even think he's 30 yet.
All right. Town Village Audubon Park, senior living in today's world, located at 950 Cherry Road, just off Park Avenue, offering more options to fit your needs more than ever before. They are dedicated to the long-term satisfaction and the quality of life for their residents. All they ask is that you're 55 years of age or older. Everything you need to continue to enjoy life to its fullest. Independent living, short-term respite stay, monthly options could be the way to go. Basic services include monthly rental with no buy-in. Apartments include full kitchen, washer, and dryer, excluding the efficiency apartments. All-inclusive resort-style dining with multiple venues, bi-weekly housekeeping, scheduled local transportation, outpatient therapy. The community amenities, they have a social area that has a fitness center, home theater, game rooms, indoor pool, whirlpool, 24-hour pantry, Village Nook convenience store, beauty salon, library, computer center. Again, like I said, everything you need to enjoy life to its fullest. They have 5 landscaped courtyards, resident gardening areas, recreational, religious, social, and wellness activities, a dog park, and gated parking for your safety. It's Town Village Audubon Park in the heart of East Memphis, 950 Cherry Road, just off Park Avenue. Call them, set up a tour, 901-537-0002, or go online to townvillageaudubonpark.com. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
The wait is finally over. Get ready for the grand opening of the newly remodeled Landers Cadillac of Memphis. You can shop grand opening savings at Landers Cadillac of Memphis, and you'll find there's a special deal on all the remaining new 2024 Escalades. You can get $20,000 in total savings. And they're paying top dollar for trades at Landers Cadillac. See how much you can save with the Landers Easy Pass at CadillacofMemphis.com. And remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much. It's time to get your backyard ready for the ultimate pool party with a little help from Family Leisure. If you've been sitting on the fence about taking the plunge with a pool, now's the time to take the dive. You want an above-ground pool? Done. Starting at $39.99, and that's with installation. You want an in-ground pool? Take your pick. They start at under $50,000. Accessorize that pool with a patio furniture set starting at just $9.99. Outdoor sectionals, they start at $12.99. In fact, all in-stock patio furniture sets are priced to move. And with select patio furniture sets, you'll get a free umbrella and base. Okay, you aren't looking to get into a pool just yet? Family Leisure has hot tubs that start at just $34.99. Get in shape or stay in shape with a swim spa starting at $16,999. Get your backyard, front yard, side yard, whatever, ready for fun. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time or while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
We talk all the time about what a fantastic neighborhood bar Bell Tavern is, but don't just take our word for it. Go to Yelp and see all the great things other people have said about Bell Tavern. Person after person talks about the cool atmosphere in Bell Tavern. They rhapsodize about how friendly they thought the staff was. They go on and on about what an amazing find Bell Tavern is, tucked in Barbaro Alley downtown. People from all over the country pat themselves on the back for discovering Bell Tavern. You can pat yourself on the back for finding Bell Tavern too. Go ahead. Feel smug.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Steady flow of traffic coming down I-40 as it gets a little bit heavier with that volume just in the last few minutes westbound. 40 coming past Germantown Parkway all the way down to the 240 flyover now. A lot of that traffic coming off that 240 flyover onto Sam Cooper coming inbound right now. Passing Perkins pretty much on schedule. Hey, bridal season is here, so you know what to do. Shop local at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back. Greg, Eli, J-Ham with you on this Monday morning. So Mark Stein says if the Bucks indeed choose Boston's offer over Miami, sources say now Milwaukee ownership's insistence on getting a bona fide star, Jaylen Brown, back for Giannis would be among the deciding factors. No duh. That's why I've been saying it. Ownership looking at the possibility of 3, 4, 5-year rebuild. Well, they'd like to rebuild with a superstar that can sell tickets. That's why
they don't have the ability to rebuild with him. He's making $60 million. They're no better salary cap wise.
You got to be able to look. Guys like Rollins, you have to find those type of players that you can get that are really good and get them at a good price. That's you got to.
They already have them, and they were terrible with Giannis.
They weren't terrible. Giannis was hurt.
Giannis averaged like 28 points and 10 rebounds. That got him a less than 500 record.
I don't know what you've been watching. All I know is they want an NBA title.
Who cares what we're not talking about 5 years ago. We're talking about right now what they need to do for the future.
I know. What they need to do is have a superstar. It's a small market.
They've had one, and they're not good.
All right.
Is Giannis better than Jaylen Brown?
Yes.
Is Milwaukee good with Giannis?
I think they're okay if they got the guy for 75 games.
They went below 500 when he played last year.
They brought in Lillard. Lillard got hurt. I mean, they've had Grizzlies bad luck. I'm telling you, they are not afraid to spend money. They're not afraid to take gambles, take shots at guys. There'll be guys that want to play it with Jaylen Brown. I don't know. We'll see. Look, they'll probably end up going with Miami's offer, but I would not be I would not be stunned right here if they want to bring in a superstar. A superstar sells tickets. They're still a business. Owners are rich because they're smart. They know if you put some good players out on the court, even if they're struggling, people still come out to see those great players. Grizzlies fans would still go out to see Ja Morant if Ja Morant was doing his thing. I mean, there's still showstoppers out there. Jaylen Brown is one of them.
You know what sells tickets? Winning basketball games.
I understand. But you're making it sound like Milwaukee, Sacramento. They had a tough year. They had injuries.
They're not Sacramento, but they're not good.
Okay.
They finished 11th in the East with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Went below 500 in the games he played. How are they getting better with Jaylen Brown?
Where did they finish? I don't know this. Where did they finish the year before and the year before that and the year before that and the year before that? It's one off. They were good. They were in the playoffs, I think, all those years. Jaylen, again, carried Boston to the playoffs by himself, basically. And a bunch of three-point shooters.
They haven't been out of the first round of the playoffs since, the championship year? No, the year after. 22. Last time they got out of the first round of the playoffs.
But did they make the first round of did they make the playoffs every year?
Until this last year, yeah.
Yeah. They're still a playoff team. They tried to add a star to go with
just
Giannis.
Keep going to the first round of the playoffs.
Well, keep trying to add to the team.
He doesn't create the financial flexibility to do that. That's the point. You're just replacing Giannis and his salary with a guy who's not as good as him.
Depending on how much money it wants to take, how much they think they can win with Giannis. I mean, I don't know what Lillard was making, but they were able to have Lillard on the team. He just got hurt. I mean, if Lillard doesn't get hurt, who knows what Milwaukee did or would have done. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, Shams reporting that a trade will take place. It will definitely take place. We just don't know which team or teams will be involved. And that trade will be taking place today, by sometime tomorrow at the latest, because the draft begins tomorrow night.
And just with the Heat, their draft pick this year is way better than Boston's. And it would be way better. Any future pick's probably going to be better than Boston's.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This is about the future. It's not about trying to be a play-in team next year.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be about this year. You're just telling me Milwaukee's not good anyway. Who cares if it's a better draft pick this upcoming year?
Because that's the whole point. You're building for the future.
Yeah, well, the
better
future
player
could be a 2027 draft pick.
If you're Boston's going to be good for. They're getting Giannis to put with Jason Tatum. Boston ain't getting any good first-round picks in the near future.
Well, I think Miami will still be a pretty good team too.
They won't be as good as Boston.
No, they shouldn't be as good as Boston. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. College football news. Memphis doing a good job really on the recruiting, in the recruiting area. A lot of news from this past weekend. 3-star offensive lineman Bryson Sanderson committing to the Tigers. Took an official visit with Memphis last weekend. He became the 7th commitment in that class, which also includes a local product, Joshua Lane, defensive lineman from Memphis Central High School. Played for the Major there, Major Wright. Lane announced his decision following an official visit with the Tigers. So 7 commitments already for the 2026 season for Coach Charles Huff and company. World Cup soccer. You got the fever, folks? If you don't have it by now, what are you waiting for? You're unpatriotic. On Friday, the United States knocked off Australia 2-0. They clinch first in Group D. They still have one match to go with Turkey, but they don't have to do anything. They're in. They've moved into the next round, which again is the elimination round. A loss and you're done. A win and you move on. No Christian Pulisic in the win over Australia. I don't even know why you'd play him against Turkey, even if he's healthy. We'll see if that happens. But the United States win. Of course, the Australians not happy with the officials on Friday. Thought that the United States was getting the favorable whistle. And the Australians apparently are the next country to hate our guts, as they were profusely booing the United States, the whole national anthem and all that stuff. So not good sportsmanship from the guys down under. And I'll tell you what, the next time Germany wants to take over the world and we got to go save some people and they want to take over starting in Australia, we're not going to help them. That's it. Because you booed Star Spangled Banner. Well, We beat them 2-0. So now things are looking good, but people are talking out their you-know-what about this. This team is a good team. They're a fun team. But come on, man. Tim Howard, at least a little dose of reality. Former co-owner of the Memphis 901 FC, friend of the show, Tim Howard said, no chance that Memphis can win it all. Memphis can win it all. No chance the United States can win it all. No chance. 100% no chance. He's not a Debbie Downer, just a realist. They have no chance to win it all. Do they have a chance to win a match in the next round? Yeah. Sure. Maybe 2. They're not winning it all.
I would certainly defer to him and his knowledge.
So would I.
Over mine.
He said literally impossible. That was the statement. I agree. I'm sorry. It's not. I'm not. United States is playing great. They're fun to watch. They seem to be. Now, I'm probably the wrong person to say this because I don't.
That seems a little harsh to say literally impossible.
But he's speaking.
Can at least say, like, listen, there's a slight chance, like, things would have to go completely right, but it's probably not going to happen.
It's not going to sugarcoat it, man.
Literally impossible seems a bit harsh.
I love dudes that shoot from the hip, but again, I'm a outsider looking in, and I know with soccer, you're a good athlete. Soccer, they're great athletes, but they seem to be more athletic, this team. They seem to be more like all around. The other guys, like a lot of years, they were like, okay, they're a soccer player. These guys are like soccer players, but you see, like, he could be a wide receiver. That dude could be a fullback. I mean, to me, they look really athletic. They're really fast. Their strategy is great with the new head coach, who, by the way, I thought he was an Italian, but he's from Argentina. And he's done a great job with them. So anyway, I got the fever. Hopefully you folks have the fever. Other results from the weekend in pretty important games. The Netherlands look really good. They drilled Sweden 5-1. Germany, they fell behind and had to rally, but they beat Ivory Coast. And Ivory Coast is good, 2-1. Spain looked good. They shut out Saudi Arabia 4-0. Now today, Eli, Argentina, Austria, so you get to watch Messi. France, Iraq, get to watch Mbappe. Norway and Senegal. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the guy's name from Norway, but you get to watch that dude. It looks like he's right from the Vikings series on Netflix. And then I think it's Jordan and Algeria. They will play the nightcap.
You get to watch Michael Jordan.
You get to watch Michael Jordan. So all that today happening in the World Cup. Did you watch the U.S. and Australia on Friday?
I did not.
Are you a communist?
I told you Friday I would.
Is he a communist?
He said he was going to watch golf.
I actually was playing golf.
I wasn't watching anything.
At the time, at the stupid time that the game was on. Again, I'll say it. Had the game been at night when it should have been played,
2 o'clock
I might have watched it. 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. I'm not watching it. I don't understand it. That was dumb on their part. Nonetheless, that is what it is.
Well, I was home, so I watched it.
I'm throwing my support behind Cape Verde at this point. I like the Cape Verde story.
It's a good story.
I like their story, and I like the women that they have when they traveled with them.
Okay, I don't.
That's actually I watched because right when the golf ended, Cape Verde was playing last night, and I actually turned it on. So that I have watched more Cape Verde soccer, and whoever they were playing last. Who were they playing last night? Who was it? They were Uruguay. I have now watched more of Cape Verde and Uruguay than any other two teams in this because that was the one I watched last night.
Yeah, they got a great tie out of that one. It was. I had Uruguay on the money line, and then with a tie. Okay. So you brought up the women. I don't know what's real or not. I don't know what's real. I don't know if these are. I'm
watching the Telemundo broadcast. Those are real.
Oh, okay, and spectacular.
They're not doing AI crowds.
That's what the AI crowds thing. I'm like, wait a minute here. There's always 2 or 3 women.
Oh yeah.
That are just wait a minute. Come on, man.
Cape Verde and Ghana. I was like, okay, this is worth tuning into Telemundo for.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's too much of that AI stuff that's online. But as far as the soccer, I've enjoyed it. I got to be honest with you. I've enjoyed it. I know it's long. It's 6 weeks in the making before we have a champion. But today you're going to see some great players, and some of the better teams that will be in action, starting with Argentina and Austria. All right, we'll take a break, come back. We got the College Baseball World Series wrapping up today. We'll talk about that. Also, did you guys see what happened in the Big Three opening weekend? Holy moly. We'll discuss that on the program as well. Your calls and texts are welcome. 901-360-8255, Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines. Lunch or dinner today, Corky's is a great option. I had Corky's for dinner a couple of nights ago. You can dine in. They have 4 establishments in the local Memphis area. Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. They have catered for their entire existence, which is over 40 years. You have an event coming up, no matter how large it is, they can take care of it for you at Corky's. They can cater it for you, start you out as low as $7.99 per person. Now, for lunch or dinner, you want it delivered to your home or office in the metropolitan Memphis area, they can do that at $3.99. That is a set price for that delicious barbecue. Whether it's the Q, the ribs, maybe barbecue nachos, which is what I had the other night. They also have an award-winning catfish plate, tamales, burgers, salads, great desserts as well. Lunch specials every day, party packs that start at just $7.40, make that $7.99. It's Corky's. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Hey, you ready to bang? Bangers Pickleball in South Haven is now open with 10 courts, a restaurant, and 3 bars. New to pickleball? No problem. Take a free Bangers 101 class to learn. Bangers offers a great time for everyone, and there's no membership required. Bangers even has events for you non-pickleballers like mahjong, trivia, whiskey, and wine tasting. Bangers Pickleball has it all. All the rage, all the fun, all for you. Please dink responsibly at Bangers Pickleball, 6787 Snowden Lane, South Haven, Mississippi. Let's bang.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Hey Memphis, Kayla Clement from Memphis Softball. You work hard for your money, so choose a financial team that works just as hard for you. Southern Security Credit Union offers great rates, personal service, and a local touch you can trust. Visit southernsecurity.org or call 901-452-7900 to join today. Southern Security Credit Union, your home team credit union, is a proud supporter of the Memphis Athletics and 901 Women and is federally insured by the NCUA.
Being there for those we love can be so hard for people with chronic migraine. 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for those with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It prevents, on average, 8 to 9 headache days a month versus 6 to 7 for placebo. Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Botox effects may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as trouble swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Those with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions like rash, breathing problems, dizziness, neck and injection site pain, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions like ALS, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medicines like botulinum toxins, which may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor about Botox. Visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX.
Hello, I'm Ford Canale of Canale Funeral Directors. For more than a century, the Canale family has been honored to serve Memphis families during life's most difficult moments. In fact, Canale Funeral Directors is proud to be the oldest continually operating business in Memphis, built on a tradition of compassion, dignity, and personal service. When a family places their trust in us, we understand it's about much more than arrangements. It's about celebrating a life, honoring cherished memories, and providing comfort when it's needed most. Whether you're planning ahead are facing an immediate need, our experienced and caring staff is here to guide you every step of the way. From our family to yours, thank you for allowing us to serve generations of Memphis families with the respect and attention they deserve. Canale Funeral Directors, quietly caring since 1843.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Got a text on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255. Texter says that supposedly it would have been up against the NBA Finals and they didn't adjust. Yes, if there had been a Game 7 of the NBA Finals, it would have been Friday night. But you had plenty of time. And I don't know how much Fox is paying the FIFA folks. I guarantee it's a lot of money. And if I'm Fox, once I know there's not an NBA Finals game, I'm telling them the USA is playing in prime time that night. Do what you got to do to adjust said schedules.
Yeah, I think it should be in prime time. I should have been in prime time. But it was in the afternoon. You elected to play golf. I elected to, stand for the Stars and Stripes, the national anthem, be patriotic, and watch the match. So,
And if I had not been playing golf, I still wouldn't have watched because I would have watched the U.S. Open.
I know, again, you're a commie, for goodness sakes. Major League Baseball over the weekend. My Phillies beat the Mets 15-3 on Saturday. How about this one? You're a fan, you went to that game? Especially if you're a Phillies fan. If you're a Mets fan, you were puking. Bryce Harper hits for the cycle. Kyle Schwarber hits 3 home runs, same game.
Yeah, that cycle was a little questionable. I mean, they could have thrown him out at third by a mile and a half. To me, he advanced on the throw, but they could call it a triple. They could call it a triple if they want. He would have literally been out by 40 feet at third base had they thrown it to third.
That is Harper's first cycle as a major leaguer. He did hit one in his 1 year of college. He played in a junior college. People thought he didn't play at all. He did. He went and played junior college 1 year, hit for the cycle. One of those games. But in the majors, no cycle until the game against the Mets on Saturday. And again, Schwarber, 3 dingers, and then he hit another one yesterday.
He hits home runs.
Do you just hate hearing his name, knowing that he was a Cub?
No, I like Kyle Schwarber.
Okay. Shohei Ohtani was out a few games for paternity leave. His wife had their second child, I believe a boy, to go with their little girl. And then he came back, first came back, hit a home run. That's just Shohei. Shohei doing Shohei things. College Baseball World Series. The third and decisive game will be played today. Hopefully there's no weather out in Omaha. I know there's a lot of weather around the country. On Saturday, Oklahoma starts off by beating North Carolina 9-3. And we go, here we go again. They've been shocking everybody. But North Carolina comes back on Sunday, wins 6-2. So now, for all the marbles, Eli, who you got? The Tar Heels or the Sooners?
Sticking with Oklahoma as the team of destiny.
I don't know their third pitchers. I don't know how good either one is. I guess they got to be pretty good to be where they are.
Well, the problem for North Carolina is Caden Glauber went the 5 innings of relief yesterday, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's done.
That they could possibly bring him back, and he's their key. Now 29-0 in games that he pitches this year, which is insane.
That's insane.
He's 12-0 as a freshman. North Carolina's stud starter got roughed up in the game Saturday. It's interesting that both games, the losing team scored all their runs in the first inning. North Carolina got 3 in the first on Saturday, looked good, and never scored again. And then yesterday, Oklahoma got the 2 in the first, looked good, and they never scored again. So we'll see. It might be a bad thing to get runs in the first inning, although North Carolina or Oklahoma also scored in the first on Saturday. But yeah, I mean, Oklahoma keeps trotting. It's their freshman starters that they keep trotting out there. North Carolina got the great outing from the freshmen yesterday, so it's probably going to come down to the hands of some freshmen.
Mentioned this earlier, the Redbirds victorious on Sunday 10-8 over Nashville, and they win the International League first half. So that means they will host the International League Championship Series September 22nd through the 24th at AutoZone Park. Congratulations to Ben Johnson, friend of the show, and all the Redbirds, including Joshua Baez, who continues to mash the ball. He now is up to 25 home runs and hit 6 in the series. Did he hit 6? Is that what somebody? Yep, 6 home runs. 6 home runs in the 6 games against Nashville. The Big Three. We don't talk a lot about the Big Three unless Ice Cube is joining us on the show. They had their opening weekend. Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson, playing for the Miami team, got into a fight with Dwight Howard and Jordan Crawford. Stevenson and Beasley were thrown out. Miami did not have enough players when it was all said and done, had to forfeit, and both Stevenson and Beasley given 1-game suspensions. And Ice Cube took to social media, not happy at all with that. But you put Lance Stevenson and Michael Beasley together on a team, things could happen.
It's the second year in a row that happened. Because last year was Dwight and Lance. They got into the fight. And this year they flipped it around, and now it's Beasley and Dwight. And it's one of the reasons why I kind of fell back from watching the Big Three, because it's become more wrestling than anything.
Well, we just had Lance Stevenson and Michael Beasley fight each other in MMA. Now they decided to be a tag team.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I forgot about that.
Because they also had the one-on-one game that they streamed out, and they played for like $250,000 or whatever last year. Then they ended up on the same Big Three team. But the Big Three really is just a bunch of fights now.
You will not find many basketball teammates who fought each other in MMA.
This is true.
You won't find that in the NBA.
Right.
What the hell is Dwight Howard playing? What is he playing for in the Big Three?
Honestly, because he's not in the NBA. Because he could be really better served being an NBA player, defending, doing what Dwight Howard got him in the Hall of Fame.
He's
too talented. He's still that good of a player. And he's giving it to the Big Three, but if they just play basketball, it's fine. But they got a bunch of other
If they just play basketball, I watch it every summer. And granted, there's not a ton of things on, but I watch it. Ice Cube was on our show, fantastic guy, and I wanted to succeed. But you see, a lot of the guys were marginal players in the NBA, maybe some above average. I mean, Joe Johnson was a really good player. I think he's hurt right now. But Dwight Howard was a star. Yeah. He's an all-star. What is he doing?
I think he's the one Hall of Famer that's there.
Except for the coaches. All the coaches, I think, are Hall of Famer. Right. Some of them are, at least. We got Dr. J, for goodness. Nancy Lieberman, who was just on our show. She's a Hall of Famer. But, to see that, I didn't remember that when that happened last year.
A lot of this really is just influencer stuff.
Yeah, but you're right. They just grab and wrestle Howard. That's all they do.
And it's a lot of chatter that comes with it, because Steven Jackson is one of the coaches in the Big Three, so he's going to talk and he's going to get into it with players as well. So
if you have Lance Stevenson, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
And Beasley, I think Beasley might even be worse.
All of these dudes, Jordan Crawford too, will not shut up.
And isn't Swaggy P the coach of the?
He's affiliated in the league. I'm not sure what his role is.
He's the coach of the. Who did they? Miami played who?
I couldn't remember.
right?
I think it was the LA team.
Yeah, I think he's the
coach. I know
coach.
the game was in LA because Dr. Dre was also in the audience as well, which was a good thing. But just that league's quiet. It can be entertaining, but they have their moments of other extra theatrics.
They do. Hey, everybody, June is all about baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and a new All-Star Chevrolet. Staycation or vacation begins in Olive Branch. How low can your payment go? Come to All-Star, see what 0% financing for 5 years on all these new Silverados will do, because your good credit deserves it. Military, first responders, you always get an extra $500 bonus. All-Star Chevy has pre-owned makes and models for any budget, priced in the 10s, 15s, or 20s. Or go big with a Tahoe, Traverse with third-row seats, Corvette, a Corvette Stingray, pre-owned Silverados. They're all waiting for you. For all your commercial and fleet needs, All-Star Chevy is the top-rated business elite dealer. Express cargo and express passenger vans are here as well. If you have any vehicle you want to sell, you bring it to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Get the most money for it today. So together, let's drive. Don't miss the best sale of summer event. It's going on now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet and online at allstarautogroup.com.
Maybe we'll get Lance Stevenson versus Dwight Howard in MMA. Maybe that's what they're setting up.
This is very possible.
Dwight Howard's so much bigger than the guy, but I don't know if he's tougher.
I mean, Michael Beasley 6'10", and Lance took him down with no problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Lance might take down that big tree. All right, we'll take the break. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Chris Price here with Metro Builders. If you were anywhere in the Mid-South lately, you felt it. High winds, hail, and storms rolling through hard. And here's the truth. If your roof took a hit, you may not see it yet. Hail and wind damage shingles can compromise your roof, opening the door for water intrusion. And once it gets in, the damage spreads fast. Ceilings, walls, insulation, even mold. That's why the sooner we inspect, the less damage you risk. Right now, Metro Builders has teams all over Memphis performing free inspections, handling same-day repairs, and providing emergency water mitigation services if needed. We'll show you exactly what we see, document everything, and help you take action before a small problem becomes a big one. Don't wait until you see water inside. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717, or book your inspection online at MetroBuildersMemphis.com. That's Metro Builders Memphis. We don't just build, we build world class.
Hi, it's The Herd. Almost 30 years ago, scientist Gary Kehoe drank a cup of coffee with a strange mushroom floating in it. What he felt wasn't a rush. It was a steady energy that lasted. That moment sent him on a decade-long search to understand why men over 40 start feeling different. Lower energy, slower recovery, weight that's harder to keep off. What he built is M-Drive. M-Drive supports healthy testosterone, steady energy, metabolism, and recovery. No hype, no extremes. Just a daily supplement built for how men's bodies actually change with age. I've taken M-Drive every morning with coffee, 8 years. Helps me stay sharp, fit, and productive. That matters to me. M-Drive is made with clinically tested ingredients, trusted by over 1 million men. If you still want energy for work, the gym, your family, your life, don't ignore the change. Go to mdriveformen.com. The code is HERD, H-E-R-D, for 20% off your first order. That's mdriveformen.com, code HERD. M-Drive for men who still show up.
Need a new ride? We got it covered during the summer sticker sales event at Gossett Kia on the Pike. 2026 Kia K4 LXS now $229 a month. 24-month lease, $34.99 due at signing. 2026 Kia Sorento LX, we got it at $297 a month. And 2027 Kia Telluride S, only $449 a month. Both 24-month lease, $39.99 due at signing. Plus, you'll find the all-new 2026 EV9, $12,000 off MSRP or 0% for 60 months available, and every Gossett Kia comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Come see Bobby J and get your new Kia today at Gossett Kia. 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
K4 TE 349,980, MSRP 24,825. Sorrento TG 453,494, MSRP 34,280. Telluride VG 005,288, MSRP 44,510. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895 must finance through KFA. Excludes tax filing license with approved credit dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/26.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. We see that heavy traffic volume coming down I-40 right now, westbound here at Germantown Parkway. Still a lot of volume coming in from Fayette County here into Shelby County, down I-40 passing 269 Chambers Chapel, Canada Road. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. If you're having transmission problems of any kind, even if your light comes on, let them check it out at Amco Transmissions, 2 locations here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, with Dave Woloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:03 the time. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings, the Monday, June 22nd, 2026 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Jay Ham with you, broadcasting live and local from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, their ultimate pool party sale going on right now at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Well, hard to think about a pool right now with all the rain and thunder and lightning in the area. Maybe worse where you are, maybe not happening where you are. It's just hit or miss depending on where you are. Heavy rain, strong thunderstorms, lightning detected in the area. High temperature today, 78 degrees, currently at 71, and the low tonight is 67. Tomorrow looks to be pretty nice. Sunshine for the most part, only about a 6% chance of precip and a high of 84. And then better chances for thunderstorms on Wednesday and on Thursday. But again, today you still may see a little bit of the sun, although right now it is dark and it is gloomy. If you missed our previous 2 hours, we touched on a number of topics, but mainly, first and foremost, the NBA draft, which will take place tomorrow. And Wednesday, we talked about Memphis basketball and the addition of a 15th player, Nemanja Popovic, according to reports that are out there. Also talk some college baseball, Major League Baseball, World Cup soccer, and, of course, the U.S. Open golf, which was won by Wyndham Clark as he held off all comers to win his second U.S. Open. If you'd like to participate in the program, you can hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. Yeah, look, it gets monotonous. We talk about the same things with the draft, the possibilities. Of course, the big story this morning, which is still not a story other than speculation, but Shams reporting that Giannis will be traded before the draft tomorrow night. It's just we don't know which team or teams will be involved. Could be the Celtics, could be Miami, could be a third team that's involved. Who knows? But he says it will definitely happen, and that could get the dominoes falling by the time the draft starts, and could be a lot of movement tomorrow night. But for the top pick, Eli, it's interesting because I'm reading mocks like you guys are, left and right. This is from CBS Sports, and they talk about the number one overall pick with Washington. It says this pick should come down to Peterson or DeBonsa. And that's what we're hearing, that they're having a tough time deciding. At least, again, this is people's speculation. Nobody on the inside in that room is saying anything. They're not tipping their hands. But I don't understand why. I'm not saying they should take Boozer, but I don't know why the pick isn't down to Peterson, DeBonsa, or Boozer. If Boozer is projected as the number one player, as many have, we had Parker Fleming on earlier, his breakdown in his NBA draft guide, he has him number one. I think Chip Williams, who we talked to last week, he has him number one. Again, it's just opinions of people, but I don't understand how he wouldn't be at least in that decision-making.
Because they like the other two guys better, and they fit their needs better.
If those reports, again, are true. But again, they're not getting anything. They're not getting inside information. Nobody's getting it from the organization. Now, Anthony Davis did come out, if I'm not mistaken, saying that he wants to remain in Washington. Trae Young, who turned down the player option, wants to, I think, according to reports, sign the long term with Washington. So Washington may have a little something going on. And if Davis is hanging around, I could see where they're going, maybe the route of Peterson or DeBonsa. But again, if Boozer's number one on people's boards, and we always talk about, especially early in drafts, best player available versus need. And I'm always the one that says, I think need's a little bit more important than people say. But no, it's always about the best player available. Well, if you think Boozer's the best player available, then you would take him. But evidently, if the reports are true, they do not believe that. They believe it's Peterson or DeBonsa. But if it is either way, DeBonsa's not getting past two. I can tell you that for certainty. Utah will take him in a second. But if Washington does something really out of the ordinary, like we are not hearing about Boozer, and they take Boozer, Then it'll be interesting because that will leave the Grizzlies with Peterson. It's either Peterson or Boozer for the Grizzlies. There's no way Debonsa's falling to 3.
Yeah, it's one of those two. Again, the most likely situation, which has been from the very beginning, is that Cam Boozer is sitting there for the Grizzlies, and that's who they draft at number 3. That is the most likely situation. Could something else happen? Yes. But if you're going by what is the most likely, it is that Cam Boozer will be the Grizzlies pick at number 3. And then things for the Grizzlies after that get interesting of what do they want to do with the 16th pick? Do they try and package some picks together and move up? If there's somebody they've got targeted that they would really like to get to and feel like they need to move up to get to, could they move down? What kind of things will they do after number 3? Because number 3 is simple. It's you take whichever one of the two is there. And then after that, you start doing what you need to do to get the other. I mean, ideally, you come away from this draft with one cornerstone player of your franchise for the next 10 years, and then another guy who you hope ends up probably being a starter for you as well. And again, how do they go about doing that? Is there somebody they believe that's going to be there at 16 that they're completely fine with and like and say that we don't need to move up? Or will they target somebody like Zach Kleiman normally does and say, that's our guy. We've got to figure out a way to go get him.
So the top 4 guys, which have been pretty much consistent from the get-go, taking Peterson out of the mix, who's a guard, here are the numbers of the 3, Debonsa, Boozer, and Wilson. Boozer is 6'8", 250. Shoots 39.1% from 3. Averages 22.5 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 4.1 assists. Caleb Wilson is 6'9", 210. So 40 pounds lighter than Boozer, 1 inch taller than Boozer. 19.8 points, 9.4 rebounds, 2.7 assists, only 25.9% from 3. Debonsa, 6'9", 217. He'll need to put a little bit of weight on. 25.5 points, 6.8 rebounds, 3.7 assists. Shot only 33.1% from 3. So Boozer, who people think he's just this, physical dude, inside player. That guy can shoot threes, has a great touch, has a great feel for the game, at 4 assists per game, really good rebounder, and can play physical. But people, again, who do this for a living, look at Debonsa and Peterson and talk about the ceiling and that it's a higher ceiling. Wilson, freakish athlete, had a couple of hand injuries, but people like him an awful lot as well, and he's going to fall into the hands of Chicago unless something crazy happens. And then it gets interesting with those guards. It seems like Wagler and Brown have gone ahead of Acuff. Would you agree in what we've read?
Based on a lot of stuff out there, there's talk that Brooklyn is really hoping that Brown is there for them at 6. There are some that have the Clippers taking Brown at 5. Wagler, I think, for the most part, is up there in that grouping as well. I think the fears of Acuff defensively, are going to turn teams off. And there will be others who will say, and it depends kind of maybe what you've already got. If you've got some good defenders already, in the backcourt, you could say, we'll live with it. We'll figure it out. We just want that offensive ability at the point guard position. Again, I said all along, like between Wagler, Brown, Acuff, and Flemings, I'm sure you probably, I don't know if you would find any 2 teams that have them in the same order. There's going to be various different orders of those guys because it's whether you look offensively, defensively, how do you like the size, what do you value out of that? And it's going to cause a lot of different opinions amongst those guys.
Yeah, there's something to like about all these guys. And I know Acuff is a defensive liability, at least right now. Maybe he can get better. But my gosh, his numbers offensively. I just think he's going to be electric. He shot 44% from three. Averaged nearly 24 and dished out 6.5 assists a game. And I look at a guy like Mikel Brown Jr., who had back problems and shot 34.4%. But he's bigger, 6'4", 190, big physical. I like those big physical guards. But didn't shoot the ball as well. Wagler shot nearly 40% from three. He's got to put some weight on. He's light. I mean, his frame is very light, 188 at 6'5". And then Fleming's, playing for Houston, playing for Kelvin Sampson, he's hard-nosed. So you're going to get a good defensive player who shot nearly 39% from three. All those guys, I think, are going to be good. But I think Acuff's just going to be a must-watch guy. So I said when Ja came into the league, it's going to be must-watch television. I think Acuff is. The problem is if he's out in Sacramento, you don't see him much. But I think Acuff's going to be a big-time scorer. The one guy that maybe intrigues me more than anybody is Mara. Could Mara go to one of those four that right now are penciled in taking guards? And I'm talking about Clippers at 5, Brooklyn at 6, Sacramento at 7, Hawks at 8. And again, trades could happen. But if those four stay the same, could any of them take Mara? I think Mara is going to be a stud. Absolute stud. Who needs the big out of these guys? Who does the Clippers have? Who?
The Clippers just traded away Zubats, but I don't see.
No, I don't see them
not taking it.
I don't see them taking it either. Brooklyn's interesting. They had all those rookies from last year, right? They had the 5 guys. They still have Claxton, right?
Mm.
Kings. They still got Sabonis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're not doing. And then Atlanta. Atlanta's big as who, JM?
Yeah, some French guys that's down there.
The guy that begins with a G?
Yeah.
Now, is he the starter? Like G-U-Y?
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Gay.
Gay?
Yeah. Yeah, he's the starter for them. And what do they have coming off?
It's like any way it's spelled, it always comes out the gay.
Right.
In France. Whatever he's, you know what I mean? S-M-I-T-H, he's from France. You pronounce it gay. But anyway, they have, I'm looking at CBS Sports right now. They have Mara going to Oklahoma City. That's all Oklahoma City needs. If they took Mara, would they let Hartenstein walk?
Yeah, I would assume so. They already have Sorber coming for next year.
That's right. And to go along with Holmgren. But I don't know if they take Mara there. And I am with Parker about Nate Ament. He's penciled to go to Milwaukee here, 10th pick. I don't know. I just don't know about him. Then there's Lendeborg. Would you rather have Nate Ament or Lendeborg?
Yaxel.
I think I'd rather have Yaxel too.
Depends where I am in my...
Your rebuild or your...
Yeah. If I'm Oklahoma City, I'd take Lendeborg.
Yeah.
If I'm Milwaukee, I would probably take Ament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Milwaukee doesn't know what they're doing anyway, so
right. And you got a younger guy. Yeah. You can make take a little time to develop that. Yeah, I agree.
I understand all the stuff that Parker said. It's the other stuff that people bring up. The stuff at the rim, like those are numbers that really are tough to explain. But I still look at a guy who's 6'10" and can shoot it that way. I just I mean, he's going to get stronger, and I think he'll get he may not be a superstar, but I think he's going to be good.
I can find a Michael Porter Jr. out of the kid. At least,
yeah, that's the thing. I just feel like he's too skilled and at that size and athleticism. That's hard for me to pass up.
I agree.
Is Christian Anderson a weak defensive player like Acuff?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't.
Not considered terrible defensive.
Okay, he's only an inch smaller than Acuff. He shoots 41.5% from three. 7.4 assists per game. He's fluctuated. Like, you look at a mock one day, he could be like 19th, and then he's like 13th.
He'll be one of those guys that'll fall to a good team and come in and contribute right away.
I'm just wondering if the Grizzlies, do you think the Grizzlies are moving up from 16?
I'm not sure.
Again, I don't know. I just go by the track record. Zach Kleiman generally moves. He doesn't just stay with where they are. So now, but whoever they target, they may believe, or whoever they really like, they may believe is going to be there at 16 and they don't have to move to get that player. I don't know. I don't know who that is or might be. But if it's, if they might be Christian Anderson and they say, we don't think we have to move. We think Christian Anderson will be there at 16 for us, so we don't need to move for him. But if it's LeBaron Philon, they may say, we probably are going to have to move up a little bit to get him. I don't know. Well, but just going by the history of Zach Kleiman, what I know is whoever he believes or whoever he likes and targets, if he believes he needs to move from 16 to get him, he will probably move from 16 to go get him.
Yeah, that's very true. In this mock, Philon's 18th. So if that stayed chalk, they wouldn't have to move up. Ibuka Okori is now right behind Philon. Okori's a guy who I think has made the biggest jump because I saw him early mocks late in the 20s, like 27, 28, 29. He's now in the teens. He's 6 foot. He's another 6'1" guy. Now he only shoots 35% from three. Only 3 rebounds, only 3 assists. That's why he's behind a couple of those other guys with similar size. One guy I do not like at all is Koa Pete. I don't like him. 6'7", kind of a tweener. Senac, I like him. He's in the 20. Malik Thomas is the one for me.
He may be a steal.
I think he's going to be a steal. I really do. They got the Knicks projected to get Malik Thomas. The thing is, though, is 16. Let's say the Grizzlies did but they zeroed in on a guard. They wanted a guard after getting Boozer. Let's say they get Boozer, and they look at a guard. And let's say Philon, they stayed at 16. Philon got picked at 15. Do you take an Anderson or do you look at somebody like Malik Thomas? What's the knock on Thomas? He shot 41.6% from three. He's 6'3".
Probably that he was listed at 6'6" all year and he's really 6'3".
That's the thing. Like, he's a 6'3" shooting
He's a liar, for goodness sakes.
In the end, he's a 6'3" shooting guard. I don't know that people believe he could be a point guard in the NBA, and at 6'3", being a shooting guard in the NBA is not easy.
That's a great point.
At least a serviceable combo.
That's a great point. If he's not going to be able to play point, then he's
he might be able to. I don't know, but because the dude can flat out shoot it, and he could score. I'm like, certainly, you get down into the area around 20 or into the 20s, I would be 100% all aboard on taking Malik Thomas.
So here's another interesting one. This mock against CBS Sports has him going 29th, okay? But we've seen him in the teens. Bennett Sturts. What do you think of Bennett Sturts? Does he have feet speed? I mean, the kid from Purdue who's not going to go and he might be a second round guy. Smith. He had fast feet. The Sturts, I don't think Sturts is really. He's got speed, does he?
I think
he can shoot.
Yeah,
but he's also a 6'3" shooting guard.
6'3", but he can give you more of a combo, more so than what Malik Thomas could give you.
He was only 35.8 from three, though.
Yeah, he shot a lot of volume too.
He did shoot a lot of volume.
So I could take the 35.8 with the volume. It'll get toned down and get rounded off to like 39% of the league on the right team. He's an NBA player without question.
He's an NBA player. I just don't know if I'm enamored by him.
It's like you say, the teens, and they're looking at him projected right. But you're looking at a 29. That's kind of where it can fall anywhere within there or early second round.
See, my problem, from a Grizzlies perspective with Bennett Sturts is, I think he's just the little bit better version of
Cam Spencer.
Yeah. Like, that's what I look at him as.
See, I wanted to go there earlier, but I thought, man, if I'm comparing a white guy to a white guy,
He's
I'm like,
more of a point guard than Spencer is. Like, Spencer just like that is not. He's more of a point guard, so that I could stomach it a little bit more. But I don't know. Like, to me, he's repeating a guy you've got on the roster.
Yeah.
I think he just may be a really, really special college player and not a real good NBA player.
We got to be careful with that because some people thought kind of the same thing about Peyton Pritchard, T.J. McConnell, and they were bona fide.
Well, McConnell's a better example because Pritchard was a shooter. He was a shooter coming out of Oregon, and he's a shooter in the NBA. He's a shooter.
The shooter that can run the point.
Yeah, but he is, I mean, Peyton Pritchard's a shooter. Him and the other guy, Hauser. They're shooters, man. O'Connell's a guy that can run the show.
Everything.
And that was a little bit of a surprise. He came out of where, O'Connell?
He's an Arizona guy, but he was a JUCO. I think he was a transfer before he went to Arizona. He was a Sean Miller guy, though.
Yeah, he's been really good.
Texter says, take Acuff. Take Acuff.
Love Acuff.
If we don't, we will be sorry down the road when he's a superstar for another team. Unbelievably athletic superstar.
Yeah, but
they're not taking him at 3.
Taking him at 3, right?
Definitely not taking the dude at 3. That's for sure.
I mean, could they, in this mock,
fellas, we got breaking news. Dusty May is finalizing a deal to become the head coach of the Mavericks.
Wow. He wins his natty at Michigan. Now he says, bring on the NBA.
He got out of Dodge, which leaves a Michigan job, a great Michigan job open.
I would go with Sharon Moore. Bring him over from football. Make him the basketball coach. Wow.
That's crazy that he's leaving.
Okay, let me throw it out there. There. I don't know what his plans are. Could Billy Donovan take the Michigan job?
Could.
And go back to college?
Could.
I did not think there was any chance Dusty May would leave Michigan. That's just such a great job right now. Like, what? I mean, you're coming off a championship. You're just reloaded again. Like, I did not think. That shocks me. I did not think that he would be a guy leaving there right now to go to the NBA.
Is there a comp? Is there something we can compare him to from days gone by with a college coach who had success and just left? Like Billy won back-to-back at Florida. He didn't leave after that first natty, stayed, and then, of course, he got the an offer he couldn't refuse. But I'm trying to think if there's anybody even that matches that. There have been a lot of guys who've been offered. You know, Few's been offered, Jay Wright's been offered, Izzo's been offered, and there's guys that took jobs like Calipari, Pitino.
A lot of offers, but I mean, this one that made the
I love, by the way, the ESPN thing because it's according to Shams Charania, Pete Thamel, and Adam Schefter. Just because he's the Michigan guy. But now that one, that blows me away. I mean, goodness gracious.
Well, geez, it wasn't even that long ago. His Florida Atlantic Owls were knocking off the Tigers in that game in the NCAA tournament where the Tigers should have won. Should have had the trap in the corner, and they end up losing. He goes from that, springboard, he ends up in Michigan, natty, and now he's the Mavericks coach. Wow. That's he was the new GM in Dallas is Masai, yeah.
He was the one that I just was like, no, because he's got too good of a job.
Too sweet.
Like all of the other ones, like any of the other college guys, I'm like, okay, but maybe whatever, I don't know. But Dusty May he is in a gold mine right now at Michigan. Why in the hell would you leave that? I just he was really the last one I thought would leave.
All right, let me ask you a question. Who were the guys that returned? We know Mara left. We know Morez left. The guard that used to be
he's got Elliot Cadeau back.
Cadeau.
His guards are back.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they added a bunch of stuff out of the transfer portal.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Would Cadeau have gone to try to go to the NBA if he knew May was leaving? Would those guys have gone via the portal to Michigan if they knew May was leaving? Now they're stuck.
I don't think there'll be a problem because I think they got what they wanted financially.
Yeah.
To stay with Michigan, regardless of
that trumps the coach now. Yeah. Used to not. I mean, now it does.
I mean, and then they'll likely, them being Michigan, they're going to make a solid hire and get them somebody, in place to continue on.
Yeah, that's the thing. I said, who is it now? Maybe, would it be a Billy Donovan? Would it, I
mean,
they should be able to have their pick pretty much. Yeah. It is clearly one of the best jobs in America right now with a great roster that you take over immediately.
I can tell you this. Cal is on the phone with his agent. Give me even more money at Arkansas. Throw my name out there in the rumor mill. He's the master at that.
Textbook John.
Watch it. Pretty soon the odds will come out for like the new coach. I'm waiting for that one to come out in the next 2 minutes, and his name will be on there. Folks, speaking of basketball, take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis, a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant objective feedback with hands-on one-on-one expert coaching. You can join on a monthly membership. You can join in Collierville, where they have the shooting bays with the Shoot 360 technology. That's at 85 Market Street. Or in Cordova, where they have everything. The 50,000 square foot facility. You can call them in Cordova at 901-779-3176. Set up a tour. Any questions you have, they'll answer them for you. In Collierville, same deal at 901-316-5500. You get great coaching, coaches that have been at every single level, kind of like what Dusty May is now. I'm sure he was a high school coach at one point, college, NBA. You can become a better shooter with the help of these coaches and also the analytical feedback you get every time you step into one of these shooting bays with the Shoot 360 technology. It's hot in the summer. I don't have to tell you that. Well, it's not hot inside Shoot 360 Memphis. 72 degrees when you're putting up those shots, not sweating your cojones off. So go ahead and join for a month. Try it out. See if you like it or not. I'm telling you, you're going to fall in love with it, but you're not bogged down with some long-term membership, not a year or multi-year. It is 1 month at a time at Shoot 360 Memphis, where the future of basketball training is here. More on this Dusty May news and the NBA draft when we return for our final half hour. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Let Bryant Dacus and Brett Norsworthy take you home every afternoon. Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Huey's has been serving the Memphis community since 1970. In this local, family-owned restaurant, you'll find a casual setting and laid-back atmosphere, where entertainment includes writing on graffiti walls and listening to live music every Sunday. Huey's has been voted best burger in Memphis every year since 1984, and most kid-friendly for more than 30 years. With 10 locations across Memphis and North Mississippi, there's sure to be a Huey's close by. Huey's Restaurants, blues, brews, and burgers for over 55 years.
Unlock your new go-to spot, Codes Dispensary in Steele, Missouri, just over an hour from Memphis. When you're ready for a legal, reliable option, they're right up the road. Explore the full menu of top-shelf products in-store and online. Short on time? Order ahead and cruise through the drive-thru for a quick pickup. Stack rewards while you stock up with Club Codes. Earn points for every dollar spent. Codes Dispensary, now open in Steele, Missouri. Supreme cannabis that's worth the drive. Learn more at CodesDispensary.com. That's CodesDispensary.com.
It's time to get your backyard ready for the ultimate pool party with a little help from Family Leisure. If you've been sitting on the fence about taking the plunge with a pool, now's the time to take the dive. You want an above-ground pool? Done. Starting at $39.99, and that's with installation. You want an in-ground pool? Take your pick. They start at under $50,000. Accessorize that pool with a patio furniture set starting at just $9.99. Outdoor sectionals? They start at $12.99. In fact, all in-stock patio furniture sets are priced to move. And with select patio furniture sets, you'll get a free umbrella and base. Okay, you aren't looking to get into a pool just yet? Family Leisure has hot tubs that start at just $34.99. Get in shape or stay in shape with a swim spa starting at $16,999. Get your backyard, front yard, side yard, whatever, ready for fun. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Hello, I'm Ford Canale of Canale Funeral Directors. For more than a century, the Canale family has been honored to serve Memphis families during life's most difficult moments. In fact, Canale Funeral Directors is proud to be the oldest continually operating business in Memphis, built on a tradition of compassion, dignity, and personal service. When a family places their trust in us, we understand it's about much more than arrangements. It's about celebrating a life, honoring cherished memories, and providing comfort when it's needed most. Whether you're planning ahead or facing an immediate need, our experienced and caring staff is here to guide you every step of the way. From our family to yours, thank you for allowing us to serve generations of Memphis families with the respect and attention they deserve. Canale Funeral Directors, quietly caring since 1843.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So here's the thing to remember from Michigan. Because the coach left, the players will have a chance to leave.
Right. But not go to the NBA draft.
So if you are, and I don't know who would have the budget, because every team's already spent their money, so I don't think there would be a mass exodus by any means.
Right.
I was like, if they, obviously in football, now they have soured them on that. They tried the internal elevation. that turned out to not go real well. Right. They had some issues there. Don't know if you know this or not. Things turned sour on that move. On his staff, Justin Joyner got the Oregon State job, but you have Mike Boynton, who is a veteran, who's been a head coach before, would be the only one I would think would be a possibility if they just at least wanted for even just this for a year to go something like that. If they didn't think they could steal somebody away from another program. Now, again, Billy Donovan's out there. If you want Billy Donovan, he is completely available. You don't have to steal him from anywhere. So I would think they would try that route. But yeah, just if they wanted to try and say, okay, well, if we keep somebody with the staff, at least that theoretically keeps these players in place for us. But again, I don't know where they're going because everybody's already spent all their budget for this year anyway.
Where do you rank Michigan basketball head coaching job? Is that a top 20?
Right now, it's with the money they're spending. Right, it's a top 10 job easily.
Top 10, top 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of meant like an all-time thing. But you're right. I mean, right now, they're at the top of the heap. But just in general, how is Michigan basketball looked at as a coaching position?
It's a power job. It always pretty much
absolutely
has been.
Power. It's. I would say like overall all time, it's probably a top 20. Football certainly
in the old school
is higher
days
than basketball.
In the old school days of recruiting, Michigan, it was a good area to recruit in.
I say they've been to they went to how many different title games? They've been, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Believe me, I know it's good.
Eli went to 2, Fisher went to 2, Dusty went to 1.
Yeah,
they had a good run.
I know, but you're right.
Overall.
But I think there's basketball jobs that people would. Maybe not in this day and age now with the portal and with NIL, but I think if you look all time, you go, yeah, Michigan's certainly one of the top jobs. But it's not a top 5 job.
It's not a blue blood,
right?
Not a blue blood.
It's not Duke. It's not North Carolina.
But a respectable power.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but, I would put it. I would say it's in the probably around 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
It's good area.
I think it's fair.
Again, now the problem, one of the issues they have, like Michigan State has been really good and they got a great coach and you're battling that right there in your state.
So what?
But amongst Big Ten jobs,
it's up to top to me.
I'm not sure there's a job I would take over it.
Right. That's at the top.
Well, certainly Indiana in its heyday you'd take, but
again, and now we got different. You got to remember, is UCLA a better job now than Michigan?
Right.
Second? No. But no, if you're looking at all time, UCLA's ahead of Michigan.
Of course, but a lot of that was done by Wood.
So is Indiana. Yeah. Indiana's considered a blue blood as well.
Right.
Michigan's not considered a blue blood in basketball.
I think it's Michigan State in terms
of you're right. Right now,
Purdue's
right now, Michigan. Yeah. Maryland, don't forget Maryland, baby.
Gary Williams.
We're living off Gary Williams, my friend.
But yeah, that would be interesting if Billy Donovan decided to make that move.
Go up to Ann Arbor? What was I going to say? Forgot my train of thought here.
Is there any other coaches who are out of jobs,
oh gosh,
other than the ones that they're not the ones that have been out for a while that we assume Jay Wright's not coming back?
Mike Davis.
I don't think he wants to be back in the Big Ten. No.
Donovan would be the only one as far as out of job guys go that you would think would maybe be.
Yeah.
Because again, I just don't think those other guys are coming back.
I don't think Bruce Pearl will come back.
Right. Well, Michigan offered Bruce Pearl. I don't know, man. Trying to think if there's anybody else here recently that would step back in. It's not going to be like Roy Williams.
Yeah, the ones that, like a lot of these guys who have recently retired, I just don't think are coming back. I don't think that's so. But Donovan, I think everybody believes he'll coach again. And so.
I don't know. But, here's what I was about to say.
Bruce Pearl, by the way, I don't think there's any team in the Big Ten that could ever hire Bruce Pearl.
Given history, yeah.
That one, I honestly do not believe there's a team in the Big Ten who would be willing to hire Bruce Pearl, even if Bruce Pearl wanted to come back. I just can't see any team in the Big Ten doing it.
Here's what I was about to say. You sign your contract with that team for the upcoming year with your NIL/rev share, whatever that combination is that you're going to make. And then the coach leaves, right? Like you said, now they have, is it 30 days? Is that too many?
They get
2 weeks,
a certain amount of days after once the new coach is hired. I don't know. I'm not sure how many days it is. It might be 10. I don't know. But it's not until the new coach is hired that it'll.
That's right. But if they decided to leave, in my opinion, as a parting gift, not only a case of Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat, they should be able to keep all that money.
I agree with
They
you.
screwed him over. They took away the coach. The coach left. You signed up to be with that coach. Get him all that money.
Are these assorted flavors of Rice-A-Roni?
Yes, it's got to be. Ah, man, that is some news. I expected when you said breaking news, the Giannis trade had come through.
Coming through as an alert on my phone, and I looked up and it was on the screen this at the same time. I'm like, wow.
So the only opening now is Portland.
Yeah.
And we know Portland with the owner. Who knows what he's trying to do?
He may end up coaching the team himself.
He's trying to get somebody under $10 an hour.
Yeah, save a few dollars. He might he can put it on Indeed. He might get some luck.
He's trying to pay he's like, can I get you for $50 a game?
Okay, so where's Dallas? Where are they picking?
Well, that's the other thing. Dallas now.
You got, because Mara and Morez Johnson.
Is there any chance that Dusty May coming in there would influence their draft decision? Because those Michigan guys are possibilities where they're at there at number 9.
That's what I'm saying.
Number 9.
They're number 9?
Number 9 and number 30.
Okay. Who does Dallas have right now as a big?
They got
Flag in Flag. Is Kyrie coming back?
Derek Lively.
They got Lively. They got Washington. They got
those guys. That's right. All those dudes they picked up before.
What's the other one?
Last year at the deadline. Gafford.
Daniel Gafford's still there.
Okay, so they may not go.
They may.
I'm thinking number 9 is a perfect spot for Mara.
Because Masai Ujiri can will and deal as well. We saw how he put together a championship team in the summer.
I like him. I like him a lot.
I do too.
This is interesting. And again, it's a Western Conference team.
Yeah.
Like all these Western, even though the East won the NBA title, I understand that. It's just the West. They always seem to be putting themselves in a position to take a step up.
That's always been the way historically it felt like too. Especially
always.
Since free agency got moved about, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Dallas is all of a sudden a competitor this year because Dusty May's coming in. But now, with Ujiri, they'll start to do some things. And Dallas will spend money.
And Eli talked about this before, especially with teams like Denver who are in salary cap hell. There's a lot of movement that's still going to come within and around that too. So might be a busy week this week.
Yeah, except that with the Denver may not be up at the top of the class anymore. But when you have a Jokic, you still have a Jokic. You still have a chance. And so it makes the division between all those competitive teams and now a couple others that will join the ranks, and where Memphis, unfortunately, is going to be more of a division.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of teams that would like to make the type of trade that Oklahoma City made with Wiggins, just the money. Now, Oklahoma City could do it a little easier because they've got the depth to just he's out of their rotation.
Right.
Okay, we don't even need that guy, and we could drop him off, save ourselves a ton of money, and give us some flexibility to possibly do things. Whereas, if you're Denver, who's that guy that you can trade that kind of does that for you but doesn't hurt your team?
Right.
That somebody else will take off your hands.
It's almost like you got to gut it without really cutting.
So that's the thing. Like theirs may have to be Jamal Murray, that they have to trade in order to create that type of stuff. So it's like, and the Grizzlies are a team who has the ability to take on one of those because they've got that trade exception, that massive trade exception, which you could take a salary from somebody. If there's a useful player that somebody's trying to get rid of just to save money, you could step in and say, we'll do that. We'll take him and don't have to give up anything in return other than maybe a couple of draft picks and just say, all right, we're good to go.
Is that like the new amnesty to you? Remember the amnesty clause?
Those trade exceptions they're valuable. When you could just take salary off of somebody's hands, that is a massive thing to be able, and to have one as big as the Grizzlies, like that is it either lets you orchestrate a trade between other teams or facilitate a trade between other teams and get assets for it. Or if there's a team getting rid of a player that you think, we could use him, like he's useful to us. Yeah, we'll take him.
It's like having a get out of jail free card.
That's
if you're
what
playing
I'm saying.
Monopoly.
That's what made me think it's like, that's the new amnesty. That's cool.
Ward Manuel, the AD at Michigan, somebody points out, now 0 for 2 in extending coaches. He says he's going to extend after national titles. Jim Harbaugh being the first. Now, little Dusty May.
Yeah, I don't, maybe this was always Dusty May's goal. Maybe he just always wanted to be an NBA coach. When I saw that stuff like his day, I was like, he's not leaving Michigan right now. Like I would have never guessed in a million years that he would leave there right now.
So here's the rule. When a head coaching change occurs, 15-day period will open 5 days after the new head coach is hired, like you said, or publicly announced. If a new head coach is not announced within 30 days of the previous head coach's departure, a 15-day window will open. I don't know. Now it depends on, like you said, schools and what they have left in the coffers. Do they have anything left, or they've allotted all their money? Most, you would think, have already done so. But could they scratch up a little bit of coin to convince an Elliot Cadeau to leave Michigan after a natty and go somewhere else? It'll be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure Cadeau is making a good amount of money. Because McKinney's back, right?
Yeah. Trey McKinney's back. They got the guards are back. And they did well in the
back.
portal.
And then they added the big guy. They added the big dude from Cincinnati, Chim, or I don't know how you pronounce his name.
Right.
And they added the kid from Tennessee, Estrella. And they added another good transfer portal guy. Because they had like 3 of the top 50 or something, or top 100 transfer guys.
Squad coming back to Ann Arbor, man.
That'd be interesting to see how that plays. You don't expect to be hiring a new basketball coach at the end of June.
Late June, right.
Again, that's like, could they make Boynton an interim? Like, just say we're going to go with an interim for a year.
Was that Mike Boynton from Oklahoma State?
Yeah. So he doesn't. He's coach forever. He's been a head coach. You just say we're going to give him an interim tag for a year. See how it goes. Maybe he gets the permanent job, but if not, we work from there and we go try and hire somebody next year when we're in a full hiring cycle. We could have a chance to go get people. I don't know. Fleet Feet. That's the place to go to get your running gear. Go see them in either the East Memphis location in the Laurelwood Shopping Center or out in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levy next door to Huey's. You go in there, they take a look at the way you run or walk, and they fit you with shoes that are just right for you. You want to make sure you have those right shoes to avoid injuries or other problems. If you're just on your feet a lot, certainly it's great to have perfect shoes that are comfortable with the support in the right places for you. That's exactly what they do for you at Fleet Feet, plus all your other gear, everything else you need. They've got you taken care of as well. So go see them, either one of the 2 locations of Fleet Feet.
Boynton's best year at Oklahoma State 2020-21, 21-9 the team, 11-7 in the conference, finished 5th in the conference, went to the NCAA tournament, made it to the round of 32. Overall, 119 wins, 109 losses, 1-1 in the NCAA tournament. So they could easily put him in there on an interim basis. We'll take a break. Final segment on the way. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Did you miss your favorite Sports 56 show?
No!
Check out the podcast, broken down hourly at sports56whbq.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe. Never miss any Sports 56 show again with our podcasts available daily from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Your home is your best investment, so why not make it the best it can be with help from Gates Lumber? Start with your front door, serving 2 purposes, curb appeal and security. Gates has solid construction doors built for security, durability, and beauty. See and compare wood, steel, and fiberglass options side by side at Gates Showroom. It's easier to choose when you can see and touch real doors with real assistance from knowledgeable staff helping you choose the right door for your home and budget. So don't just replace your door, upgrade your protection, and Gates Lumber is the right choice. Family owned and operated, serving you for over 100 years with free estimates, free delivery, competitive prices, and quality products. Call 901-942-3201, go to gateslumber.com, or come by their showroom, 1253 South Bellevue Boulevard. Gates Lumber, celebrating over 100 years with a passion for craftsmanship since 1920.
If wedding bells are in your future, you need an unforgettable engagement ring from a jeweler you can trust. And that's been James Gaddis Jewelers for over 60 years. With a huge selection and the best prices, James Gaddis is a master jeweler and diamondologist. Beautiful jewelry from James Gaddis is always the right choice. Choose from rings to earrings, necklaces to bracelets, and gemstones to watches. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar, online at GaddisJewelers.com and Instagram at Gaddis Jewelers. Say I do at James Gaddis Jewelers.
It's time for fun, family, and fabulous prizes at the 68th Annual St. Louis Hole-in-One Charity Festival. Sunday through Saturday, June 21st through June 27th. For almost 7 decades, the Hole-in-One has raised thousands of dollars for St. Louis School and other Memphis children's charities, and your help is needed more than ever. On select nights, golfers will have a chance to win $25,000 toward a city auto vehicle purchase, then a chance to win $1 million the final night. Plus, there are cornhole tournaments nightly, kids carnival rides Friday and Saturday nights, children's golf Saturday from 2 to 4, and new this year, wiffle ball at 6 p.m. nightly. There's something for everyone at the biggest party of the year at St. Louis Church, 203 South White Station Road. The 68th Annual St. Louis Hole-in-One Charity Festival, Sunday through Saturday, June 21st through the 27th. Fun, family, and fabulous prizes all week as you help raise funds supporting youth programs at St. Louis Church.
Chris Price here with Metro Builders. If you were anywhere in the Mid-South lately, you felt it. High winds, hail, and storms rolling through hard. And here's the truth. If your roof took a hit, you may not see it yet. Hail and wind damage shingles can compromise your roof, opening the door for water intrusion. And once it gets in, the damage spreads fast. Ceilings, walls, insulation, even mold. That's why the sooner we inspect, the less damage you risk. Right now, Metro Builders has teams all over Memphis performing free inspections, handling same-day repairs, and providing emergency water mitigation services if needed. We'll show you exactly what we see, document everything, and help you take action before a small problem becomes a big one. Don't wait until you see water inside. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717, or book your inspection online at MetroBuildersMemphis.com. That's Metro Builders Memphis. We don't just build, we build world class.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, 9:41 the time. Make that 9:51 the time. Final segment here on this Monday edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Again, the big news this morning, just breaking, Dusty May leaving Michigan to become the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. Also, Shams Charania reporting that the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade is going to happen before tomorrow's start of the draft, but we don't know to which team he will be traded to, but they say the trade will definitely happen. On this day in 2022, gentlemen, on this day in Grizzlies history, the Grizzlies traded the 22nd and 29th picks for the 19th pick, which they used to draft Jake LaRavia out of Wake Forest University, now helping the Lakers. The Grizzlies also traded DeAnthony Melton to the 76ers for Danny Green and the 23rd pick, which they used to draft David Roddy out of Colorado State University. I believe he's still in the league somewhere. Grizzlies also traded a 2024 second-round pick to the San Antonio Spurs for the 38th pick, which they used to select Kennedy Chandler from Memphis, who got a little resurgence of his career late this year with, I think, Golden State.
Golden State, Portland, they moved around.
Yeah, he had that one big game. And then finally, the Grizzlies used the 47th pick to draft Vince Williams Jr. out of Virginia Commonwealth who did some good things, then got hurt, then got traded to Utah, and now doesn't have a job. So that wasn't really good. That stuff right there in 2022. But that's this day in history for the Grizzlies. But what kind of history will they make tomorrow night and Wednesday night?
I'm going to guess they'll get a better player than what they did in that.
I think you're right. Because if not,
Chandler was
Katie barred the door.
This year.
Well, Utah, whatever team it was, he had the big game. That one game late in the year, he had like 35 or something. But anyway, yeah, I mean, look, this is pivotal. Now, Kleiman, I've been critical of Kleiman. A lot of people have been critical of Kleiman. If something's good, if he does something good, I'm going to compliment him. If something that doesn't work out, I'm going to criticize. But he has obviously the backing of Para. Because you would look at this draft and go, if the Grizzlies screw this draft up somehow, some way, then he's done. But first of all, who knows how long it takes to know whether or not they screwed this up? And then second of all, even if he does, I don't know, he's in like Flint, man, with Para. But this is one, I don't know if like I could screw this thing up. They're getting a really good player at number 3. They're getting a really, really good player. Now, what do they do after that? Like you talked about earlier, Eli, he has the history of packaging and moving up once they identify who they want. I have no idea. Could be a guard, could be one of those bigs like a Merez Johnson we talked about from Michigan. Maybe they'll stand pat at 16. Maybe they'll use that 32nd pick on a big if like a Terrace Reed still sitting around. Maybe they won't use that pick. And then the whole John Morant thing. You know, if the Giannis trade comes down, does it start to open the floodgates before the draft, or is it more than likely going to happen down the road and not before tomorrow night's draft commences?
I don't believe there's any chance Ja's traded before the draft.
I don't think so either.
I think Ja will be once the new year starts.
Once the new year starts? You're talking about like 20?
The new league year.
Oh, okay, gotcha. World Cup today, as I mentioned, if you like World Cup soccer, you're going to love today. The stars are going to be out. Argentina and Austria, Messi, France and Iraq. You got Mbappe, you got Norway and their star in Senegal. You have Jordan and Algeria. Michael Jordan, of course. So a big day of World Cup soccer. The United States will next play.
Here's hoping we can get some ties today. Fingers crossed that we can get some ties.
The United States will next play when?
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
See, why do I know more about this soccer than you do, and you claim to know it?
I don't claim to know anything. I'm just watching it. But they will play.
You claimed to know the tiebreaker
Turkey
the other day.
That's what it was, and they changed it. They did a switcheroo. Varla said the same thing. Everybody thought it was always goal differential. They did a switcheroo. I did learn, though, that Turkey is spelled differently now. And I guess pronounced differently. I don't know. I'll still say Turkey. Turkiye. So that changed. The United States will play them Thursday. They've already clinched the group. They don't have to do anything. It doesn't matter if they lose by 20. So with Christian Pulisic not playing in Game 2 against Australia, I don't know why I wouldn't play him. We'll see. See what coach wants to do with Pulisic. Save him till you get to the games that really count. The games that could eliminate you.
Do you get a higher seed if you get more points into the year?
I don't think so. But then again, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say. Why am I asking you? Anybody in there know?
No, I think it's set now. Now, they don't reseed, though. People have made a big deal about like wanting them to reseed the 32. You now have 48 teams, 16 are eliminated. You got 32. They should all reseed them. I think they should, but they don't do that. So I don't know who the hell the United States would play.
Reseed them. They're not seeded.
Well, or seed them. Seed them 1 through 32. And then have your matchups accordingly.
So they don't do that.
They don't do that.
Well, that would be good. That's what I just asked.
Ooh, I get an emergency alert. It's bad weather out there, folks. Be very careful. there is a flash flood warning. That is going to do it for us today. I want to thank Parker Fleming for joining us on the program. Tomorrow, we'll talk one last time before the actual draft takes place. We'll preview that. Mickey Barker will join us as well. We got Humdinger's Trivia. It all begins bright and early at 7 a.m. The Prodigal Son returns. Dave Woloshin is next with Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. For Eli Savoy and for Jay Ham,